it out of the Orange Bowl.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Look, I got no problem with this. This is what we talk about in hanging banners. It's your arena. You hang whatever banner you want to hang, whichever one you can sleep with. It's your football program. You claim whatever national championship you want to claim.
Yeah, but this is misleading. Like, if you got your grandkid asking, oh, you were undefeated? Well,
yeah, we were.
We were undefeated in 2023.
That's what I was.
Once the calendar flipped.
I was, because I didn't play in the Orange Bowl. I was off to a different school by then.
Yeah.
Going by so fast, but Patrick says, never thought I'd see Florida State pretend they were Central Florida.
I mean, Central Florida.
Yeah, Florida State is better than that.
Yeah.
But again, we've got to be consistent now. We've said on this show, or at least you have said, Dunaway, whatever championship you want to claim.
Claim it, man.
That's right.
So I don't care. You can claim what you want, but I can debunk it, right?
No, you can argue against it, but I am saying that.
How many teams were better than Florida State this year?
In the regular season?
No, I'm just talking about how many teams even at full strength, would have beaten Florida State.
I don't know, because I never saw anybody do it. I'll be consistent and not just an Alabama guy here. I thought it did suck what happened to them. I'm glad it happened to them, but it sucked.
With Jordan Travis healthy?
And all the players opted in, Keon Coleman.
I still think there's 4 or 5 teams that were better than Florida State.
4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah.
I think with Jordan Travis healthy, they would have been a playoff team.
That's why I'm always an automatic bid guy.
No, they would have been, yeah.
That's why I'm always an automatic bid guy, is because, if my conference champion has 2 losses and your conference is unbeaten, my conference may be tougher than yours. I'd like to see us play head-to-head. And in this situation, Florida State didn't get a chance to show us how good they really were. So
look, you go back against LSU in the second half, they whipped them.
They did. And
Jaden Daniels didn't do much in that second half.
He didn't.
But I still think there were 4 or 5 teams that were better.
We have Sam Walters' destination here.
He hinted this over the weekend, showing his recruiting visit back in the day, but hashtag not committed.
Can I guess Vanderbilt?
You can guess Vanderbilt, but you'd guess wrong if you wanted to. Michigan. He is going to go join Trey Donaldson at Michigan, the state of Alabama connection.
And Dusty May, who left Florida Atlantic, 6'9" freshman, picked Michigan over Ohio State, Kentucky, and Louisville.
Wow.
So a lot of people wanted Sam Walters.
He had some pretty good choices there. If those were, in fact, he could have gone to any of those 4 places.
I do think that Dusty May will have a quick turnaround.
You think so?
Yeah, I do.
Well, he's brought in the big center from Yale. What was it, Wolf?
Yeah, Danny Wolf.
Danny Wolf is gone to Michigan
Really
as well.
good player, man.
Yeah. So he doesn't look it. You wouldn't pick him in a
But
pickup
I would
game.
think, Wolf, Donaldson, Walters, all those guys will be immediate impact. There's a chance all 3 start. I know Wolf will.
And where did Elijah Martin from that FAU team didn't go with Dusty to Michigan, though he was in the mix. He went to Florida over the weekend. And I think Janal Davis went there as well.
No, Davis still
still out there?
Yeah, he's still uncommitted.
He may have just visited Florida this weekend. That'd be a good pickup for him if he doesn't go to Michigan there. So that portal is churning there. April 30th is the deadline to enter the portal for football. That is still out there. To date, no Alabama player has done that, though you probably expect 1 or 2. We'll see if the place kicker is the next one to hit the portal from Alabama after the incoming Groza Award winner Graham Nicholson from Miami of Ohio. Your best and worst of the weekend, either one of you. Brownie, you said you had one earlier?
I'll do a quick best. I'm not a big NASCAR guy, but I say anybody should go to Talladega at least once. And I love going with people for their first time. Did it with my wife last year. E.G. and Kelsey had never been to the Sunday race until they were with me and Dunaway yesterday. Just watching people hear those cars for the first time and see the spectacle is actually pretty fun. If you've never gone through it.
Yeah, there's a good time out there, and we congratulate all the Talladega Super Speedway folks for putting on another good show, and glad the weather worked out every day for racing this weekend. All right, that's the show today. Don't forget, the Meltdown goes at 2 a.m. Central today on the platform. Like and subscribe there. Taylor's already getting submissions for another mailbag of Uncorked. You can get that also on our platform. Like and subscribe, all that. Like and subscribe us. Give us a thumbs up as well. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Some people are calling it the best doubleheader night in NBA history. We'll get to that in a second. It was that good. Kaylin DeBoer did his very first Hey Coach show last night, just out of nowhere. They decided to do Hey Coach with Kaylin DeBoer. We've got some sound from that coming up in this show. That's coming up a little bit later on.
Can't say no, can he?
Yeah. Not to the people that write big checks for you.
Yeah, can you imagine Saban in April being asked, hey, let's do a one-off. Hey, Coach.
Well, what you doing tonight, Nick?
I don't think so, is what he would say.
We'll get to that coming up in the show here. A little trivia for you, by the way. There was one Mike Price coaching show. If you've been with the show long enough, you know we actually taped one of those the day Mike Price was introduced as the head coach at Alabama, and I was the host of that.
It never aired, though, right?
Never aired, and I don't know if it exists anywhere in America. I don't know if it's in a closet somewhere or what. I would love to see it.
Do you remember anything about it?
I do. I remember sitting in oversized chairs like we were some dukes in England. They were big chairs in the Mal Moore building.
Dukes.
I mean, they were high-back chairs, so they were over the top of me. And I remember we got him on the dry erase board. He drew up some plays, and I remember it was a pretty boring show.
He drew up plays because
on a dry erase board.
Was this hey, look, everybody's worried about this offense you're going to run. Can you just show us you actually know football?
Oh, they were actually like,
that what that was?
Wide open offense. It was just in the Rose Bowl. What are you bringing? Because who was this off? This was after Franchione. Is that what it was? I think it was.
Yeah, it was coming off Fran. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick says probably in the basement at Bryant Museum. Does the Bryant Museum have a basement?
I don't know if they've got a basement.
Yeah.
So it's buried under the Bryant Museum.
Yeah.
But he was supposed to be a jovial, like really nice, energetic guy that was doing like cannonballs at the aquatic center.
Yeah. I think he was, but I mean, just think about it. He had done the Rose Bowl, or was he announced before the Rose Bowl and then went and coached the Rose Bowl? I can't forget now, but he's overwhelmed. He's done that big news conference.
He was announced before the Rose Bowl because they talked about it during the broadcast.
Yeah. He was jovial, says Patrick. Is that ever a compliment if you're jovial?
It means you're fat.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was about to say.
You're fat and you like to laugh.
You're never
typically drink.
You're never in shape if you're jovial, right?
Yeah.
You got those red cheeks.
Now, I would say it's almost like, okay, I'll think about going on a date with her. What does she look like? She's got a great personality. Yeah. What is he? Is he good-looking guy? He's jovial.
Jim's a jovial guy.
If you say he's jovial, I mean, I immediately think of a chunky guy that likes to have fun.
That's right. Yeah. He'll drink a cocktail.
Yeah. I don't remember Mike Price being super chunky, though. So jovial.
He was pretty thick.
Dude was in his 60s, right?
He was pretty husky.
I think he matched me in this area.
Do you call yourself chunky?
Do I?
Yeah.
Other people do.
He was bigger than Dunaway.
Pull up a picture of Mike Price, Rockstar.
No, not the UTEP days.
Just do Mike Price.
I would do Washington State.
Wait. Don't overpass it. That was sort of a compliment from LT.
What was it? I missed it.
I just said Dunaway's not nearly as big as Mike Price.
Yeah.
Maybe we all remember different Mike Prices.
Yeah. And on a Tuesday, I'll take that.
Hey, the fifth one over. Yeah, that one too, right there.
Well, I mean, he's wearing a ill-fitting.
But
his head's proportional with it.
You can tell.
Good Lord, at the pop-ups you get at AL.com.
You can tell.
I mean, you can't even go there.
You really can't. So is that him dancing at practice? I forgot that part.
Either he's I think it is dancing. He's snapping fingers.
Rockstar, the pop-ups on that site are insane.
I can't go there much anymore.
I mean, really?
Yeah. All right. Mike Price.
That whistle just dangling.
And he's snapping his fingers.
He is.
Like, is he swaying left or right?
He is.
This Glenn Miller stuff's good.
You talking about, like, it seems at time, and I think Kaylin DeBoer is a very intelligent guy, but it seems at times that he doesn't understand the magnitude of this job.
Well, he said he said he did with us the other day that he had been warned, and he's already done the old, I tried to go to Walgreens late at night and couldn't do it. I mean, that should tell you, like, I always heard the story of Mike Price, which doesn't really make sense now since he was coaching the Rose Bowl. But he had gotten the Alabama job, and he went Christmas shopping at the Galleria So maybe he had spent some time in Tuscaloosa. I don't know. But he went Christmas shopping at the Galleria and got swamped. And he was like, what the crap is going on here? And somebody said, Mike, you're now the most recognizable guy in the state of Alabama. You can't go Christmas shopping.
I just remember young Reed was in school in Tuscaloosa then, and he would give me updates all the time. He was on the strip again.
Oh, yeah,
he was
it did
with
slow mine
somebody's
down.
cell phone leaving a dad a voicemail. I mean, he just didn't realize because, again, the true story, that golf tournament in Pensacola, we know a guy that called him back and said, hey, look, I can come take care of all the charges. Nobody's ever going to know this. And he's like, nah, it's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turns out it was a big deal. Needed to let what was that HBO show, The Cleaner, that would come clean things up for you. This
You're talking Ray Donovan Showtime?
Ray Donovan Showtime.
You're close, man.
Yeah. I was that close.
The cleaner.
Jim Dunaway.
That's about some lady that cleans buildings.
Jim Dunaway,
Very
Lance
boring.
Taylor. Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, Rockstar. There is Forrester and Lunsford. Tyler is back there working in the back room as well. Taylor Corn, Emily Grace in the command center. Everyone else up here, Tim Melton settling in to get you ready for the meltdown coming up at 2 o'clock. Taylor Corn's got another Uncourt coming up soon. Like and subscribe everything, including War Dam Pods and Rolled Tide Pods on our Disrupt the Media site.
By the way, I tried Arrested Development, and I not only went pilot, I went episode 2, and I couldn't do it.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I shut it down with about 10 minutes to go in the second episode.
So many laugh out loud moments and such good characters.
I did not laugh out loud one time.
Hilarious show.
But I mean, it just didn't hit for me. I mean, everybody swears by it, but
nobody gets beheaded.
Give me what you didn't like about it later in the show.
nobody got beheaded and curbed.
That's what it is.
There are no subtitles.
The big lead, though, today before we get to the NBA playoffs locally is the portal continues to churn. And I think, am I wrong about this? I know the football people tell me these were big needs for Auburn, but I watched Auburn last year, and I was always worried about the offense. I was never worried about the defense. Defense seemed to hold up.
That defense had one bad play.
One bad play, but they had Alabama on the ropes.
At least it doesn't haunt Hugh Freeze. He brought it up to us.
It's like Lincoln had one bad moment at the play.
Lincoln also had one bad play. Yes.
Until one DB that was holding Brock Bowers in check got hurt. They were holding Georgia, had Georgia on the ropes, two really good teams on the ropes. I never thought defense, but they lose some people. A couple names you may hear called in the NFL draft. So they've been working on that defensive line and on the edge. And yesterday, after bringing in Blighty from Indiana the day before, they bring in 2 more guys on the front 7 of the defense. They go on the edge, Kieron Crawford from Arkansas State. He's coming up, big numbers there. And then 315-pound defensive lineman Isaiah Rakes. This was a big A&M guy, Rakes was. He went to USC in the portal, only spent the spring there and said, I'm out. And he's to Auburn now. So he's one of those guys that will double transfer before he plays another football game again. But at 315, 6'1", that means he is a little fire hydrant of a guy. He can plant up and hold down some real estate at Jordan-Hare.
Yeah, look, that is a guy, DeAnton Lynn, the new defense coordinator at USC. They wanted this guy. And I don't know what happened. I guess same thing with Caden Proctor. I guess you get somewhere and you don't feel it. You're only there a couple of months and it just doesn't feel like a comfortable place for you. But this is a good get for Auburn.
I want to go back to Kieron Crawford. I don't know, Kieron Crawford, excuse me. I don't know that this is that crazy of a stat, but it's not a stat I've studied, so it feels crazy to me. He had 44 tackles, 10.5 tackles for losses. 1/4 of his tackles were tackles for losses. That seems extraordinarily high to me, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a gap shooter.
Yeah, I mean, when 1/4 of your tackles are in the backfield, that's pretty good. He didn't even lead their team. They had a lot of tackles for losses, but 10.5 out of 44 tackles were in the backfield.
Well, and they can use this. I agree with you. When you watched Auburn, it didn't seem like the defense was the problem, but they gave up the 4th most rushing yards in the SEC. They were middle of the pack, 7th in sacks. So there's a lot of work to do on that side of the ball.
That's why the front 7 is so important, and getting some depth, maybe some guys who will contribute and start there when they show up on camp. But that seems to be where the priority has been in this portal so far for Hugh Freeze. And he said last night on social media, not done yet. Done yet. So they're still working the portal. A lot of talent still out there.
Now, Chris H. says that is one way around the SEC to SEC transfer deadline. So let's revisit that.
Yeah.
So,
I see what you said there.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, Chris said, I hadn't even thought of it.
Ole Miss to USC, USC to Auburn.
Now, you got to plan way ahead to do this. I mean, in theory, you could just use your first portal to the SEC school.
Yeah.
I mean, but because the deadline only exists in this late portal with this 15-day portal window. So why would you not have just gone to Auburn straight from Ole Miss? But
if you're doing that, do you just not show up for practice at SC?
I guess. I don't know. I don't know how that works. But
USC's not a bad place to go, though.
Right.
It's on somebody else's
He's on the
tab.
beach. Where in the hell is Isaiah?
actually, he's in Auburn now.
I mean, can we start you doing some, Auburn to Hawaii to Ole Miss or something like that?
I mean,
Yeah.
I think this is something you got to watch out, though. If that something I have never thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
But you're right.
But you
but
would
if
have just used the first transfer to Auburn
right.
instead of doing that. But it is a bit of a loophole because this kid was at Ole Miss just a matter of months ago, right? I mean, and I think that is probably what they're trying to protect there. But you would have to plan way ahead, and I don't know. I don't think that was the intent there. I just think he must have gotten to USC and didn't like it for whatever reason, Lance. Because to your point, it appeared USC really wanted this kid.
Yeah, LA ain't for everybody.
Yeah, it is not.
I would agree.
And you can get out there, and again, we see this happen all the time. You end up with some broken NIL promises, or you get out there and you're all of a sudden you were told in the recruiting process you may be 1 or 2 on the depth chart. You get there and you look around, you end up thinking you're 4th or 5th, and I'm not going to sit here on the bench. Let me go somewhere and play. So you never know why guys end up leaving. And one more guy before we get to what was a crazy night in the NBA as well. Jack State defensive lineman Chris Hardy, who was one of the best in their league, helped them transition really well. He is in the portal, went in yesterday. Again, you got 7 more days of this portal open. You don't have to commit before April the 30th. You just have to be in the portal before April the 30th. This kid, you saw him play several times, Brown. He's at your old school.
Yeah.
He's got some skill, and it'll be interesting to see if anybody needs help on the defensive line if he ends up there.
Well, first team All-Conference, Conference USA, one of the leading tacklers for Jacksonville State, really, really good player, disruptor, a guy that, again, we talk tackles for losses. I mean, that's what he does. So, I will be interested to see what the market is for this kid. I don't know about you guys. I'm trying to remember when the Jack State spring game was. I mean, this guy's had some time to get in the portal and just now hit. So, I mean.
I don't remember the Jacks. What do they call that?
J-Day.
J-Day?
I don't know what they call that.
I mean, they may.
They may. Here, I'll look it up. But don't you guys, when you see like this out of the blue late in the portal, you're like, wonder if somebody contacted him.
You think so, Brownie? That
Well, I mean, that's just kind of what you wonder, right? And I hate to even say that.
No, but he's chilling. He's all conference.
Yeah.
You can get drafted from Jack State. You can get drafted from anywhere. So he's sitting there, and all of a sudden, hey, what's up?
Yeah. All right. The spring game was Friday. So to his defense, Jacksonville State spring game was Friday.
Was just this last Friday?
Just this past
Well,
Friday.
you were making
so.
it sound like it was in.
No, I said I don't remember
March.
when it was.
There is a situation that would get you off the couch when you're really comfortable, right?
Yeah. It takes a good one for me.
The
but
late
yeah.
John Ed Willoughby told me a story about he had been dying to meet Bear Bryant. And I forgot which one of his friends. It might have been Doug Layton. Might have been Tommy Charles back in the day. But he said he got a call. He was in bed. He said, hey, if you want to come down, we're at the old Michael's Steakhouse downtown. And then he said it was like, 11:30, midnight. And he said he got out of bed, went down and met him.
I would have done it.
So I'm just saying, you get a call on the couch at Jack State, you get an opportunity like this.
I would have done it. If Bear wasn't there, if Willoughby had called me and said,
Brie chicken fry, you would have gotten off the couch, right?
oh, my goodness, yes. Maggie and I had a conversation about that.
Did she know about your intrigue with Brie chicken
Your
fry
affinity
before this?
for
She's a realist. She knows
She tell you to wear that hat?
this is a good hat.
No, I'm not talking about that hat. I'm talking about, you remember the, what was the hat that you had on? We picked you up one night.
The
fedora.
The fedora.
She was like, keep that on and women will not talk to you.
Yeah. No, she's not worried because, Bree, but this is the conversation that was happening the other day. And you see the smile, she was very
very
nice.
intrigued
I didn't
right
want to
here.
I didn't want to paint it yesterday that she was in any way mean. We totally ambushed her.
Now, I do see her right hand is fumbling for something in her purse. Maybe
that's a base camp.
Yeah.
It's a pistoli is what that is.
I will quickly say, though, I don't know that Chris Hardy, again, 16 tackles for losses. I mean, this guy,
That's pretty
that's
impressive.
pretty dang good in a single season. I don't know that this guy was tampered with in any way. I'm not trying to suggest that. And now that I know the timing of two things. Number one, college is coming to a close. So seniors are taking finals now. So you're close to being finished with semester, which is the idea for this transfer portal window, because players are finishing up their academic, requirements at their current school, so they can start to look ahead now. And number two, is spring game was just Friday.
Yeah.
But man, you go all the way through spring in the spring game and then hit the portal. If I'm a coach, and we talked about this with Lane Kiffin, it's one of the reasons maybe Lane did the spring game the way he did it, so guys don't get good film on tape for people to see.
Yeah, and Royal Payne's right. I know tampering can be annoying, but at the same time, a lot of these players at a JSU and a level like that probably like knowing if and where there are opportunities before they just go to the portal and hoping for the best. And, to be fair for the kids, why would I have to jump into the portal just to find out if anybody wants me?
Well, and that's a shot to Rich Rodriguez and the rest of the staff.
That's right.
It's not good enough here. Those guys understand if you get another opportunity. But, yeah, I think I would stay where I'm comfortable. And if somebody tampers with me, then we can have a conversation.
But you have to also understand that that's part of the reason a kid can hit the portal but still go back to the school he's in. It's almost like Mark Sears right now. He can enter the NBA draft. He can get all the feedback he wants, and then he can go back to Alabama if he doesn't like that feedback. You can do the same thing in the transfer portal.
You can.
It's why you don't see coaches kill kids all the time for doing it.
But doesn't it feel a little different? I'm testing the waters in the NBA.
Oh, no, it completely feels different.
But if I'm in the portal, then
I'm testing waters at maybe my rival.
Yeah,
Yes.
I may want to date somebody else.
That's right.
But if nobody else wants me, I'm going to come back and date you. That doesn't seem right. Tell us about Indy racing coming to Barber. Drove by there. They're putting up signage ready for the Indy World to come on their way to the 500 in Indianapolis, swinging through Birmingham.
Yeah, we are going to be out there Friday, by the way, doing a specialty show, 3 o'clock. The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham. It is April 26th through the 28th. Fastest IndyCar drivers of the world, Castro Nevis, Dixon, and Newgarden, put their skills to the test with one goal in mind. That is victory. Country music superstar Riley Green is the Grand Marshal. He'll give the most iconic command in racing. Start your engines. It is the Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst at Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast, so get yours now.
Okay, we're at Barber Motorsports Park Friday. Thursday, we're at Twin Peaks over in Hoover near the Galleria for an NFL draft party. We'll be out there a little after 4 o'clock, setting up for a 4:30 live show on our video platforms, and then hanging out a little bit and getting ready for the draft. A lot of draft conversation later in the show today and throughout the rest of the week leading into Thursday night as we get ready for a lot of fun there. But last night, and I know some of you don't like the NBA. Some of you only like it during the playoffs. It is a better game in the playoffs. And last night, Ernie Johnson's the guy that said this, and he, with Chuck and the guys, watch a lot of NBA basketball. He said it was the best doubleheader night in the NBA that he could remember. So maybe it wasn't the best doubleheader night ever, but you had two virtual buzzer beaters. You had two big comebacks. You had controversy in both games. Where do you want to start? You want to start with the late game that had me up until midnight, or you want to start with the early game?
Start with the late game.
Okay.
And just for the record, now home teams are 11-0.
Yeah.
And we've
Seems
always said
significant.
11-0.
Yeah, I mean, it's 7-game series. It's not a series till a road team wins a game, and two great opportunities, especially for the Lakers.
They were up 20 in the second half.
Up 15 and a half.
So usually when you're down 20 and a half in the second half, the other coach at that point can make a decision. Are we going to try to make a comeback here, or am I going to rest some starters here and we're just going to take the blowout and go? But when you're at home, it feels a little different.
Yeah, and for whatever, 20 and a quarter is a big deal, but 20 and a half, you can make that up. I mean, the NBA is just, it's crazy like this. See 20-point leads evaporate all the time. But this is one of the Lakers, when you've got Anthony Davis playing at the level he was playing last night, when you've got LeBron, D'Angelo Russell hit a career-high 7 postseason threes, it's a game you got to close out.
Well, and you got LeBron with a wide open look for the win, potentially. Obviously, Denver would have gotten the ball back. But, Lance, I mean, a wide open line. And really, of everybody on the court, the only other guy you can make an argument you'd want to take it was D'Angelo Russell last night because he was on fire, 7 of 11 behind the arc. But you got LeBron a wide open look. And, I mean, that's really all you can ask for, right?
Yeah, and I mean, more so how the Lakers defensively let this thing slip away. I mean, Jokic was incredible again with another triple-double. Jamal Murray was awful to begin the game.
He wasn't on that last shot.
He found it.
No.
Hey, how did AD? I thought AD had it blocked.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a wingspan. I mean, AD's wingspan is probably 7'6", if I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But even then, you go to overtime. I do not like you in overtime. As you know,
No.
it's where underdogs go to die.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. If you've got the Lakers, plus a 7, you didn't want that thing to go to overtime last night. But that's just it. It's heartbreaking because now the Lakers, and I know coming into this series, LeBron was like, "We don't care what's happened in the past." But it's been 495 days since the Lakers beat Denver. They have lost 10 straight to the Nuggets.
And that was your chance.
That was chance.
Yeah,
and that was chance.
You go back to crypto.com 1-1, and it's anybody's series. At that point.
They'll win 1 or 2, maybe. I think this thing probably goes 6, but you've got no shot at winning the series now.
Yeah,
no
that
shot.
was your chance to win the series. That you cannot, as an underdog, as a 7 or an 8 seed in that situation, you cannot let that get past you. You got a chance to win a game on the road, and you're up 20.
Yep.
You can't. That's the way you lose a series.
Worse than blowing a 20-point lead in the second half is blowing a 5-point lead with 47 seconds left to play in the game.
I mean, they melted.
And that's what the 76ers did. And went back and watched it. I think it was in a 15-second span. They blew a 5-point lead by 6 points coming from the Knicks, and they beat the 76ers last night. And who coaches the Sixers? Is it Nick Nurse?
Nick Nurse is...
Who's the Sixers? Whoever the Sixers coach is.
Yeah, it's Nick Nurse.
Yeah, he's complaining that twice
Raptors coach.
Twice I called timeouts, and the ref's looking right at me. He didn't give me a timeout when they turned the ball back over, and the Knicks hit the big shot. Dude, you watch it, and you've got one finger in your hand, and you're doing this. You're doing this right here. You're going to gripe if you don't want the timeout. And I call you for a timeout. You got to give me a timeout call.
Yeah,
you got to run on the court.
I'm on the court.
Yeah, you can't be doing this.
Got to be animated. Nick Nurse, hell of a coach, won a championship with the Raptors. But you've got the best player on the floor, not even close, in Embiid. And he has a monster game, but you can't close a deal. And how that got away from him. And this is a shorthanded Knicks team. Everybody's talking about can Philadelphia win with a banged-up Embiid? Embiid's just always going to be hurt. I mean, even being hurt last night, he plays through it 34-10, but to blow a 5-point lead, not only blow a 5-point lead, but to lose by 3. So to give up, go on an 8-0 run with 47 seconds left, that's just a heartbreaking loss because coming in, I didn't think the Lakers had really a shot against the Nuggets. I thought Philadelphia would win this series, but last night, don't think it happens now.
Yeah, it felt like Dante DiVincenzo got like 6 looks at a 3 there.
Yeah.
I don't know how many actually
He got
shot.
2 wide open ones.
Yeah, and he finally hit one, but I'm like, God, Philadelphia you got to be able to close out and defend that, right? I mean, the guy just keeps getting look after look after look.
Cleveland also won last night. 3 more games tonight. Home teams trying to go 2-0 again tonight. Phoenix at Minnesota. Start you on TNT. Dallas and the Clippers in you on TNT. In the middle on NBA TV at 7. You get Indianapolis and Milwaukee. I think Little T hit a parlay last night at mybookie.ag. You see the logo up there. Promo code next round. I think she hit a little 6-teamer, 5-teamer, 6-player, whatever it was. She was red hot last night. You can be a part of that as well. mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag. All right, when we come back, we'll let you hear a little bit of what went on with Hey Coach last night for you Alabama fans over there. If you missed it, Kaylin DeBoer, they had a little show last night on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. And then later on, basketball conversations as somebody lets something slip on a live Instagram show. Always really good. And we'll talk NFL draft. On the show, Clay Travis. Later, Bruce Feldman. He's got a big college football to NFL story at The Athletic. We'll talk to him in the final hour of the show coming up at 11 Central. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Heating, cooling. Had to use both of them last couple of days. Little heating,
your toes this time.
little heating
weird,
overnight,
man.
little cool in the afternoon.
Yeah, trusted in Birmingham's trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
You have all heard of Red Wing Shoes, but what is Red Wing Shoes? It's the place where men buy boots, plain and simple. Who are Red Wing's customers? They are construction workers, warehouse employees, college students, the guy that fixes your AC, the guy at the end of the bar, the IT guy. Red Wing is a father, Red Wing is a son, Red Wing is a cult following shared by all men. A classic, comfortable pair of cool boots with a story to tell. What's your Red Wing story? Red Wing Shoe Stores, located in Pelham and Trussville.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Regions Tradition, May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kaylin DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Regions Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
So it's never really never really crazy when you want to let stuff leak out before they're supposed to be reported. It's no surprise because Ryland Griffin has been projected to Kansas since he left Alabama. Problem is it hasn't been announced that he's at Kansas yet. And you know, on the way to the bank, sometimes things happen. For instance, there's still a big name out there that could prevent Ryland going to Kansas. I guess there's a couple of big portal guys out there that could still end up at Kansas on the perimeter that maybe is more attractive to Kansas. Who's the one kid?
Well, I tell you, if you're Ryland Griffin, though,
the Bria kid from Dayton.
He's still out there. Yeah,
he's out there. Kansas.
He's the one that makes half his threes.
Only blue bloods, and Kansas is one of the blue bloods out there. If they've only got one spot open, Bria or Ryland Griffin, I don't know who you'd want. I'm a Ryland Griffin guy. But last night on Instagram Live,
I want the guy that hits half his threes, to be honest with you.
But does he play defense? Ryland Griffin does. Yeah. He's both ends of the floor.
You know, I can swallow some bad defense if you go hit 50% from beyond the arc.
Sam Walters doing an Instagram Live talking about his commitment to Michigan, and Ryland gets on there and asks, what's your goals for next year? And he says, I just want to help Kansas beat Michigan and hold Ryland Griffin to 0 points.
You mean
Michigan beat Kansas?
I want to help Michigan beat Kansas and hold Ryland Griffin to 0 points.
Sounds like Ryland's going to.
It sounds like Ryland's going to Kansas,
or at least Ryland thinks
Well,
Ryland's going
yeah.
to
I mean, I thought that was, and I was looking at the portal yesterday, and it was no destination yet for Ryland Griffin, which makes no sense because you're leaving a Final Four program. Unless this is just, it's confusing to me.
You think Bill Self has him on hold? Is that what you think?
Oh,
until he sees what happens with the kid from Dayton?
I don't know. I hope Ryland knows, but as you see.
But if you're Ryland Griffin, I mean, if you want to go to Kansas, you're probably willing to take that, right? I'll wait and see what happens.
But what happens if you don't?
Well, you hope I mean, right now Michigan's taking everybody, so I guess you go play at Michigan. I mean, they just got the kid from FAU that is following Dusty May now. He's going to Michigan.
I mentioned that yesterday. He got 6 guys in 72 hours, to your point.
Yeah, Trey Donaldson is going up there. Sam Walters is going up there. Like, I think Dusty May will take anybody right now.
They're expecting Golden from FAU to follow him from FAU.
That's what I'm talking about. That's who went today.
I thought you were talking about.
No.
The Vlad Golden kid.
Yeah.
The big guy in the middle.
Yeah.
So he's official now?
Yeah. I'll.
The other FAU kid, the Martin kid's going to Florida.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't think you can find a program that hasn't taken at least 3 transfer portal guys in already.
Excuse me, it is Lorenzo Kaysen.
Okay.
Is the kid that is going.
Yeah, they got 7 in 72 hours, and Golden, the big kid, is expected to go as well to Michigan.
So, I mean, Michigan has taken everybody. So, I think if you're Ryland Griffin, you're not stuck. I mean, in theory, the way the portal works, you could come back to Alabama. It feels like a lot of water has gone under the bridge there. I just don't know.
I was going to say, you're not stuck. You'll find a landing spot. But the problem is, I mean, what are your
is it going to be better
what are your
than
goals?
It's not going to be better in Alabama or Kansas in all likelihood if Kansas says no, right?
Yeah. Usually, when we start talking about something like that, it's usually with the dam breaks, and the Kansas announcement will come probably before 9:35 in the next 4 minutes.
That's probably so.
We'll find that out. Show brought to you by JohnsonRVCenter.com. JohnsonRVCenter.com to Alabama football after Brownie tells us about those great guys.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online at JohnsonRVCenter.com. They have repriced their entire lot, both lots. And they're so confident that they've got the best price in America, they will beat any price you bring them. And that is a nationwide guarantee. Bring them a price, they'll beat it on a comparable RV. Also, RV Warranty Forever gives you a lifetime warranty on anything new or qualifying used. See it for yourself. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
All right, so history will show that Chris Stewart was not there for the first Hey Coach with Kaylin DeBoer.
Where's Chris? What the crap?
I don't know where our buddy Chris was, but Roger Hoover sitting in last night on Hey Coach. Tom Stipe, Hey Coach #1 with Alabama football coach Kaylin DeBoer, ready to kick off Alabama football on the Crimson Tide Network. That's from our buddy Tom Stipe with that down-the-line picture over at Baumhauer's in Tuscaloosa. Roger's the guy sitting in the middle. And really, from what I could tell, not a whole lot of different stuff being said on there. But according to the chat and the internet, Kaylin did get the first question from Pee-wee last night, so he had his introduction to Pee-wee.
Pee-wee told him they weren't throwing the tight end enough in the spring game or something like that, I'm sure.
And then Kaylin talked to the Crimson Tide Sports Network last night about the returning offensive players and the new system. Here's how it played out last night.
So we just got to see the Crimson Tide in spring football. We saw the offense, of course, played well. Sticking with the offense for a moment, how'd you like how the returning players started to adapt to your system as spring went along?
Yeah, they were from day one. It seemed like they were very eager just to really, dive into this and figure out the nuances. Understand, of course, the foundation of what we were asking them to do. But they've never flinched. Just embraced everything we've thrown at them. I think it showed. It showed their progress that they're making. We still have a long ways to go. There's a lot of things we've just scratched the surface on, and execution is going to be at a premium when you face teams that are super talented. You got to be able to play fast, and so this summer is going to be really important. Fall camp's going to be important. That's another 2 more times where they get to have the install, and I think it seems like they've been just so receptive, and so I'm expecting that improvement to continue to happen.
Those shades of crimson couldn't be any different.
They really couldn't. It is. I was looking at that one. Rogers looks a little purple.
I mean, his looks like Mississippi State gear.
Yeah, I think Kaylin DeBoer's is you know what? That's going to be Tommy Bahama. That's what that's going to be. Tommy Bahama.
DeBoer's Tommy Bahama?
Yep.
I like DeBoer's shade better.
Yeah, I don't know if either one of them are the official Crimson.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, we got to dial this thing in.
Well, it's all over the board.
I mean, it seems like they had it dialed in forever.
For 17 years at least.
Yeah. I mean, the grass sucks. You can't get your colors right.
Crimson's falling apart.
And just real quick at the end, Rockstar, there's no knock on Roger here because you got that headset on. You don't want to flip it up or not. But there is no way you go to a straw drinking on camera and it ever looks good.
I've done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to tell you, I've done it.
I've done this before. I've gone.
Yeah,
trying to find the straw with my mouth while watching someone talk. But watch this. There is no cool points.
Well, I mean,
when you go to a straw,
Roger needs the water.
Yep.
And like you said, we wear those headsets all the time on the road. You can't do a normal drink with it.
Yep.
So it's either pop that thing up and drink or use a straw.
You always look like you're really creepy listening to somebody when you're sucked out of a straw. When you're like.
You know, a lot of people use the straw.
I'm not a straw guy.
I'm not a straw guy.
A lot of people use it to avoid putting lips on a cup, which makes no sense because you already drink the liquid from the cup.
Yeah. Plus, I like building up my immune system. As you saw in our social media. And by the way, that was on Little T. I've caught more heat, not about the breathing. I've caught more heat about eating that guy's hamburger than anything else. There was a piece of video. And Taylor behind the camera. Taylor gets me in more trouble.
Does she?
She'll be the end of me.
It's all Little T's fault.
But we're talking to this guy who had a crazy sticker on his shirt. And we're talking to him. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the I'm about to walk back, you can see on the video, I'm about to hand Taylor she's like, take a bite of his hamburger. And I went,
how many Bud Lights deep was she then?
I don't know.
How many Bud Lights deep was the dude with the burger? Had he already taken a bite?
Oh, my God. So I take the hamburger out. No, it was fresh. He had not taken a bite out of it, but he was holding it with his hands.
His grubby paws?
Oh, if he hadn't taken a bite of it, what's the big deal?
So I take a bite of it.
You don't think the employees were pawing that thing?
It's a big deal for him now.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then he walks back, and I'm watching over my shoulder. He walks back to his buddies, and I was going to see if he tossed it in the trash can because I would have in his situation. And he starts eating it. I was like, okay, there you go, dude.
A straw does not give me enough volume. I like volume when I'm drinking.
I like the mixture with the ice.
The straw just doesn't give me enough volume.
So our friend Pete Flack at Hamburger Heaven, they've got the big volume straw for the milkshake.
Oh, yeah. You got to go that route for a milkshake for sure. Yeah. But, I never started thinking about this until COVID. Like, this happened before COVID, but it just never occurred to me, and now it's all I can think about at a restaurant. And can I borrow your drink real quick? I won't touch the spot you're drinking. But like when the server brings the drink to your table and they grab it where I'm going to drink and they sit it down, they did that all the time before COVID, but I never really started thinking about it before COVID. And now it's all I can see. So when the server comes to the table and they grab it and sit it down, I'm like.
Do you remember when we were hosts at Texas Roadhouse? We had to go and do like a celebrity waiter thing.
That's been forever ago.
The waitress I was with the first time, she said, "Can you take water to that table?" And I did that. And she goes, "No. Do not hold them like that. You got to hold them from the bottom because people will freak out.
Yeah,
because that's where their lips are going." I was like,
never thought about it. Never thought about it.
Oh, I think about it all the time.
I do now.
And then like a server will come over and your fries are and they'll use their hand. Don't touch my fries.
But I've had to get past that, Lance, because I'm like, where has that cup been before it gets to my table? I mean,
like back of the house, you get in the kitchen and the things you see back there.
My server's fingers might be the cleanest thing that have touched this cup since it came out of the
Don't worry about it. I immune system. Let's go. Fight.
But that's my problem is I don't want to use a straw, but when the server comes, and now listen, I'm going to go book my cover, but some of it depends on what the server looks like too, right?
Yep.
I mean, if he or she looks like they hadn't had a shower in a couple days, I'm going to be a little more in tune. Now, if they look like,
no, but what
they got
about
all
if you go through
I really start worrying if their fingernails look like they could start, if they're trying to get into Guinness Book of World Records.
Or if they got that cocaine fingernail.
I can take or leave a straw, but if I go through a drive-through and it's already like pre-packed, and you hand me the cup with the straw, I'm going to use. Do you take the top off?
I take the lid off.
See,
and drink
I never do
because
you're looking at that thing spilling all over, especially if you're driving around.
I know.
When
I go in the convenience,
I get no lids when I leave.
Yeah, when I go in the convenience store and do the Diet Coke fountain, I don't get a lid or straw. I just bring it out. I just want to drink it.
What about
when
you
get the ice mixture?
What about when you get an icy? Is that different?
I rarely do that, but if I did,
Me
I
too.
would use a straw.
Yeah, you got to use straw there. You
Yeah,
gotta
that
use
and
straw for
milkshake.
milkshake. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Frosty, that's the crappy part on a Frosty.
You can't use.
I know, you
on
got to use a
Frosty.
spoon on a Frosty.
Oh.
That's hard when you're driving.
Which I don't mind that if I'm stationary.
Yeah, but if I'm driving, it's hard to eat a Frosty. And I like a
Well, I
Frosty.
kill a Frosty right now.
Frosties are so
Did
good.
y'all get when they had didn't they have the orange, what was it called? The
Orange sherbet?
creamsicle?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
creamsicle.
Was it good?
I didn't have it. They were giving us little things all day. With
That's what I was about to
free
say.
Frosties for a year.
They weren't there, and Little T and I don't know if Rockstar got excited, but I know Little T got
I gave it to
excited.
EG.
And EG, they had keychains that if you walked up to the Wendy's display in the infield there, you get a free Frosty for a year with that keychain.
Dang.
Damn.
As many as you want for a year.
That's a deal right there.
I don't think it's as many as you want. Probably it's like one a day.
Yeah, for
Give me
normally
16.
when they say a year supply, it's one per
How do
week.
they check that though?
Well, I'm sure when you do the keychain thing, I'm
There
sure you have
wasn't
to scan it,
There
right?
wasn't a little barcode. It was a little Talladega logo thing with the Wendy's.
Are you
And a
serious?
little teeny tiny keychain. I don't know
Oh,
how.
you know what they're gambling on
But it did
is
say like June 2024.
this guy will get tired of Frosties. He's not going to wear us out.
Well, I've said this before.
Or he's
and
going to die from drinking
One
too
of the
many.
two, yeah.
I've said this for somewhere over the last 14 years. But when I worked in Lexington,
Uh-huh.
and maybe you can find it on the internet, Rockstar. Maybe we've tried this before and we couldn't find it, but WLEX meteorologist Frosty diet. Like he made it.
Crap.
He made it on 60 Minutes or some national magazine or something. When I first got there,
I thought you were going to tell me his name was Frosty at first when the way you said that.
every
up.
day he was
drinking a Frosty.
He was drinking a Frosty at lunch.
And he lost weight?
And he had a Frosty diet that he lost weight on. He got
Zero
some
chance.
national
You know what he
plus.
got none of? Nutrition.
I mean, I don't see. So was it 3 Frosties a day? Do you know?
I don't know what all he did, but God, was Brian his name? I can't remember.
So, we got our buddy Clay coming up in 20 minutes. And the first time I ever heard Clay, and I didn't put it together, it's kind of weird. So I heard him on the Morning Express.
With Matt and Scott?
Yeah, and he was living in the Virgin Islands, and they didn't have direct TV down there, so he couldn't watch Titans. And so he went on that pudding diet.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, he did a pudding diet revolt, basically. It
Yeah.
was not a starvation diet. It was a pudding diet.
And then another time, I was randomly at a Monday night football game at Nissan Stadium, and he is the guy that fielded a punt and walked off with a Mountaineer. The keys worked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
I didn't realize it was Clay. So,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I 2 times before I finally met Clay, I had no idea that he was in those situations.
Rockstar Fox 6 news anchor Jonathan Hardison says Brian Collins is the guy's name.
Brian Collins. I thought it was Brian.
Yeah. Brian Collins' Frosty diet.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
I don't know.
Well,
Well,
he
Hardison
was-
said Dunaway he went from LEX to KYT, so he made the old in-market jump, which is fairly rare.
Well,
I mean, it's happened here.
Guy named Spans bounced around a couple
I
of
know,
times.
it's happened here.
Yeah, I think he's touched 3 of the 4 stations here in town.
I don't know how you could cast stones.
Well, I've only done 2.
That's
and
true.
with an occasional appearance on the 3rd.
Did you ever have an opportunity to go to the 3rd?
Never had a chance to go to Fox 6. Never had a chance to go to 30 through 40.
Okay.
Yep. So, you know me. I was always I was working at the other 2 stations. I love to battle, man.
Yeah.
I'm a fighter.
Brian no longer with us, by the way.
Passed away?
For further update there,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
I mean, how much did
Well,
the Frosty have to do with
I
it?
have no idea.
I mean, when I was in my 20s, he had to be the late 40s, early 50s.
Yeah.
And I'm not in my 20s anymore, physically.
The Bushwhackers basically alcoholic Frosty.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah, that's why they're so good.
Speaking of which, mullet toss down at Floribama this week, and a little guy named Kaylin DeBoer going to get a little experience of that down on the coast before a Yay Alabama event. He's going to actually throw the mullet. They throw from Florida into Alabama, don't they?
Oh, I don't know. I've never been to the mullet toss.
I don't know if that's the case.
They do throw it
I
across
did
the
see
state line.
Do they really? Okay.
Our friend Steve Powers reached out that PETA is trying to get them to throw fake fish.
That's right. They're protesting the use of actual mullet.
Yeah. Well, do they realize the fish are dead yet?
Yes, I think that's their issue.
Yeah.
But I don't want to speak out of turn here, but don't they grill the fish up for the homeless? That's what I would say. Oh, no, when we're done.
Oh, yeah, after it rolls on the sand.
we fillet them
people
and they grill
paw
them
it.
up for the homeless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting sight. And you know me, Jimmy Fomo, I may end up at the Floribama on Saturday.
You ought to go.
Just to see the 40th annual mullet toss. All right, when we come back, a lot more going on, but it was fun to see a little, hey, Coach, it felt like football season last night in Tuscaloosa. 124 days. Is that countdown right? Will somebody check Lunsford's beautiful mind? Will he check me on how many days until week 0?
It's pretty simple. There's a website. How many day? What day do you want?
Week 0.
Well, that is not a day. That is a week.
I think that's August 24th.
August 24th?
Yeah, of 2024.
Okay.
124 days, I think. I've got us at week 0. So it's not far away at all. SEC Media Days before that in Dallas. We're getting there pretty darn quick. Our show being brought to you by the great folks.
123.
123.
Yep.
Well, it's 123 in some hours, Brown.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. So we wanted
close enough.
That Friday before to be 0, be 1. The show being brought to you by our friends at the Regions Tradition. One of my favorite events every year, especially the Drummond Company Pro-Am on that Wednesday. So much fun. You'll get all the Alabama coaches we're talking about. Kaylin DeBoer, Nick Saban will be there. Nate Oates will be there. You'll get the man, Hugh Freeze. Hugh may be the best golfer of all of them.
Probably so. He can play.
I'd like to see a Hugh. I mean, that would be good content. Hugh versus Nick, 18 holes, just match play.
I mean, it's not the worst idea in the world.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's got some money and want to put that together, we will broadcast it on our platform.
Okay, Gene Hallman's supposed to be on the show tomorrow. Give him that idea.
Hugh versus Nick, match play, because Kaylin told us he's not where he should be with his golf game as a former baseball player. May 8th through the 12th at the Greystone Golf and Country Club. Got that new tent on the 18th green. And there's also more information you can get by going to regionstradition.com, regionstradition.com. And don't forget, we'll be right there at the, right there off of the number 10 fairway. Not really a fairway, it's a par 3, but I guess you call it a fairway, right by the green. And we'll be right there in the White Claw tent, broadcasting live during the Pro-Am. And then Steve Stricker will try to win again all the great pros in town again for the Regions Tradition. Regionstradition.com. Get your tickets, get the plan, and enjoy the weekend, May 8th through the 12th out at Greystone. When we come back, more sports going on. This is the next round.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, you. Days warming up, looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing. Start your engine! Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mom on Mother's Day Sunday. LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th. LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Back with you on the Next Round. Boy, some of you in the chat room were acting like 124 days is a long time. That doesn't, I mean, maybe it's because I've just gone through 4 weeks of the NCAA tournament in Talladega weekend, but, I'm ready for a little summer. I've already, our schedule is full, at least for us work-wise up here.
As much as the fall, by far my favorite season, but I really enjoy the summer being able to hang out with the kids at the pool.
You want me to put it in perspective for everyone in the chat room?
Are you going to do Doug Layton?
I am not going to do Doug Layton. That's 90 days out.
Well, if you only pull a month away from that.
I know. I'm a month away from Doug Layton.
Yeah, they do those 4-month loans.
It's been 120 days since Christmas. So basically, in the span of time you have gone since Christmas, that's how long you have to wait to get a football season now.
Yeah.
That seems like kind of a long time ago, though.
Does it really?
A little bit.
We've packed a lot in there. That's why.
And I'm just telling you guys, as you get older,
here we go.
Time flies.
No, it does.
Like I could
tell me more, Grandpa.
I could tell y'all pull up that stump over there and let me tell you a story. I could tell you everywhere we ate out in Pasadena. I can still tell you places we went in 2010 covering the BCS national championship.
So your memory's sharp.
Yeah, for some things.
Did your uncle get eaten by cannibals? That is the wild. I mean, listen. I know we don't delve into politics much, but when you see the White House have to correct a story, actually, the president's uncle was not eaten by cannibals. He died in a plane crash.
Wow.
I mean, that's one I've never seen in my life. I mean, that's a weird. You got to admit that was a weird correction. I saw the story. White House clarifies President Biden's uncle not eaten by cannibals, and I was like,
"Wait, so was this yesterday?
It was last week. It was last week."
Cat Williams.
He got tied up in a story there.
Okay.
Cat Williams is a really funny comedian. He has a bit. Not to get political. This is neither side.
Yeah,
it's just good comedy. He was like, "Who raised y'all? Y'all are making fun of Joe's age. You're the one that gave Paw the job." Just really good. Really,
I
good
like
stuff.
Cat Williams. He's funny.
He's a funny.
I'll tell you who else I like is Bill Burr. You like Bill Burr's comedy rock star?
Bill Burr's awesome.
His comedy's hilarious.
He does his own show. He's one of those guys that he doesn't want to sit around. He's like, I don't want to sit around. I've learned how to cook. I'm learning how to fly a helicopter. He's one of those guys like, I don't sit. I watch sports. He loves sports. But then other than that, it's like, I got to be doing something. I want to learn. It's just a crazy.
Bill Burr's very funny.
We've actually had him in studios a long time ago, and obviously Breaking Bad. I came across, because I was watching Rich Eisen, because I'm the only person that ever watches Roku, and he had on a comedian, Neil Brennan.
Neil Brennan's great, too.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about Neil Brennan. I watched his latest stand-up on Netflix. Yeah. Hilarious.
Why are you on Roku? I mean, I don't understand.
Why do you think you're the only person that watches Roku?
No, what happens is in my workout room, I have got a Roku. And so I normally go to YouTube TV, but sometimes it will sign me out. I don't know how to sign it in.
Yes.
So if it signs me out, I'll just go to what my options are at Roku, and it's normally Rich Eisen from the day before because it's in the morning. Yeah. But I've seen some good stuff.
I think Rich
does a good job.
I think he's a pretty good interviewer, and he because he's in L.A.
Well, they talk more entertainment than sports.
Well, and that's one reason he's in L.A., so he gets a lot of entertainment guests.
I'm a big fan of Rich. Always was. I liked him on. He followed up. Was it he and Stewart for a while?
He and Stuart Scott,
yeah. That was the team back when SportsCenter was relevant. They had important teammates.
Yeah,
and
I
teams
saw
together.
Rich Eisen at the Rose Bowl, decked out head to toe in Michigan gear. Like, I don't think he's a fake Michigan fan. Like,
No.
he was head to toe,
Hey,
like looked like any other fan out
Chris
there.
Jenkins Jr. on the other day and telling him, how much he appreciates what he did.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell he's a huge Michigan guy.
Yeah. The show being brought to you by another U of M, the University of Montevallo. Hashtag Motown. It's my school, Montevallo. You can be a part of the future there at Montevallo. Your son or daughter, you're starting to look for a school, want to stay local maybe, or maybe you're out of state watching us right now and looking for an affordable place for your son or daughter to spend 4 or 5 years. Make it this beautiful institution you see on our video platform right now, the University of Montevallo, montevallo.edu, montevallo.edu. So many things to offer there, including great academics, sororities, and fraternities. The campus is beautiful. And they've also got 23 NCAA Division II scholarship sports, fully funded. Just a great place to continue your athletic career and so much more. It is Montevallo, the University of Montevallo, montevallo.edu, montevallo.edu. Okay, Clay Travis at the top of the hour. We'll get back to sports in a second, run through the portal news and talk a little NFL draft coming up a little bit later on. The Braves won last night, 3-0. Did E.G. make it over to the game?
I have no idea. She's here right now, so that's a heck of a dedication.
That'd be a hard no. I tell you, Travis d'Arnaud, who did he leave for a second and ended up coming back to the roster or whatever, but when he hit his home run last night, that was his 5th home run in 8 at-bats.
That's pretty hot.
That's a heater. 3-0. They beat Florida. More great starting pitching. Bryce Elder went deep with no runs allowed there. Florida and Atlanta again tonight, 6:20 over at Truist there in baseball. Craziest thing in baseball yesterday was Aaron Boone getting ejected. There's nobody at the game. It's a day game on a Monday getaway game, Oakland and the Yankees. Nobody's there. It's the top of the first inning. And there was some question of whether a hit batsman had swung or not. So Aaron Boone had said some things, just questioning the call. And the grumpy, angry umpire behind the plate had told him, "No more, Aaron." And you can hear it. It's like everyone's on the microphone because there's nobody in the stands.
It's very clear.
No more out of you. No more out of you. And the umpire turns back, and a fan right above the dugout screams at the umpire.
And there's video evidence of this. Like, it is abundantly clear. They're showing Aaron Boone. He doesn't say a word, and you can hear the fan scream.
That's right. And then later on, there's video of the fan actually screaming.
That's right, yeah.
But it's obvious Aaron Boone's lips don't move, and he's not a ventriloquist.
Yes.
And the big grumpy umpire turns and says, "You're out, Aaron." And Aaron said, "I didn't say anything." And he says, "I don't care. You're out anyway."
That's right. I'm
and
tired of being here,
"Are
too."
So I always think that's one step closer to us getting to computers.
Oh, we need computer umpires.
Yeah.
We need robot umpires. It's beyond time for that. But the crazy thing is, I think Hunter Wendelstedt is the umpire, right? Harry's kid, right? And he gave a post-game statement and never backed down. Like, there is video. All you got to do is go watch the video. It is abundantly clear that Aaron Boone says, okay. Then he's looking out into the field.
That's right.
You hear the guy yell. Aaron's mouth is not moving.
Wendelstedt, though, you got to give him credit. He's sticking to it.
Oh, he's sticking to his guns. He's like, hey.
No,
He said it.
you don't stick to it. You don't stick to it. When there's video evidence, you don't stick to
Hey,
it.
basically, Wendelstedt, it's a long statement. I don't want to sit here and read it, but basically what he says is, I've been an umpire a long time. I've never confused a fan for a manager and thrown a fan out or thrown a manager out because of what a fan yelled. That's essentially what he said in his statement. And you're like,
until today.
You're
Is what he
like,
should have
well,
added.
Hunter, if you'll go watch the video, you just did it.
But
Until
this
today.
is his second ejection of the year, 35 ejections since 2018, most in the majors.
Aaron Boone or
Yes,
Hunter Wendelstedt?
Boone.
Oh,
Yeah.
Boone?
Well, he knows how to get thrown out of the game.
He does.
Yeah.
But
This wasn't one of them,
He didn't
though.
deserve it there.
Yeah.
But I do think balls and strikes have gotten awful. Like this Angel Hernandez cat that is still, like, I don't know how old he is. But, I mean, this dude's been calling baseball a long time. I could call balls and strikes better than him, and I've never done it in my life. Like, and the union just protects this guy, and they cannot fire him, even though there's overwhelming video evidence that this guy is awful at his job.
Yep.
If any of us were that bad at our job, we would not have this job.
And you guys always tell me that we should have full-time SEC referees.
I agree, yes.
Yeah. I mean, just because it's a massive business.
And I
now,
know
you can
what
afford it.
I know what you're about to say.
Okay.
We're asking the full-time SEC referees to do one game a week. Angel Hernandez is doing how many a week?
Yeah, I'm just saying. But when you have a full-time job, they will become union, and when they become union or tenured or whatever, doesn't mean you get better quality. Okay, good referees are good referees, bad referees are bad referees, and when you have this situation, you end up with an Angel Hernandez. You're not going to be able to get rid of him. Or are you going to have a grumpy old guy who knows he's not going to get fired? He can throw a guy out for not moving his lips.
Well, I would hope the association realizes how bad somebody would be.
Yeah. Well,
the NFL...
They've had a couple of decades to get Angel Hernandez right in Major League Baseball, and they haven't done that.
But, I mean,
they've reprimanded officials in the NFL.
Explain to me how the NFL has a referees union, which they do, and guys get fired all the time there.
Yeah.
I don't know if the NFL is just more powerful than Major League Baseball. I assume it is. But every single season, there's like, all right, here are the NFL officials that are not coming back.
Yeah.
Because I think they probably agree to, like, if I get downgraded so much, I'll lose my job. I mean, that's just part of the negotiation. Clearly not Major League Baseball, because that guy's awful.
Yeah. All right. So a little baseball news there for you. Clay Travis coming up. LT will tell us why he does not like a chance to go back and watch Arrested Development. I finished The Gentleman last night, or Gentleman? Is it The Gentleman? The Gentleman. I didn't watch a lot of it. I didn't binge it. I think I actually started it before you did, and then slowly watched it when I had the right time to really get into it. But episode 6 was so good, I went on and watched 7 and 8 last night, and 8 wasn't fantastic, but it was a good ending. Good ending.
I thought the whole thing was great. I'm in the minority. I thought it was much better than the film.
Yeah, I never saw the film. Love the comedy aspect of it all. There's some really funny parts to it there. So it's set up for another season, though, right?
Oh yeah.
So looking forward to that. Why did you not like Arrested Development?
It just didn't hit with me. I don't know. I just didn't think it was funny. I thought it was kind of hokey, actually.
Brownie?
Oh, I mean,
volley back.
Oh, I'm not going to argue with him. Lance likes what he likes. I like what I like. I thought it's hilarious.
I mean, I wanted to like it.
I mean, the first 3 episodes, I lost count of how many times I laughed out loud. Yeah. Jason Bateman is fantastic. It is such a quirky cast of characters that are all, not all of them, but a lot of actors that I like, or a lot of people that I like.
Yeah, I tell you how I kind of fell into it last night. We talked about it on the show, but the kids came over and Leighton was flipping around, and we ended up on Schitt's Creek. And so we watched the first 3 episodes of those, because those are like 20 minutes, just getting ready for dinner. And those were laugh out loud. And I was like,
that show
is
gets funnier.
Such a good show. And then I was like, hey, you want to start Arrested Development tonight? So we started it about 8 o'clock last night, watched 1 full episode, and I was like,
you haven't gotten to Scott Baio being a lawyer, Bob Loblaw? Bob Loblaw,
yeah,
and he has a blog, Bob Loblaw's blog.
But he's not to that part yet.
It didn't get there.
He didn't get there.
Henry Winkler as the attorney. It's awesome, man.
I mean, the first episode, the guy thinks he's supposed to dress as a pirate. It ends up getting on the rogue bus.
Yeah. Now that was funny when he got on, and then
that's hilarious.
And then David Cross, crying in the shower, I thought was stupid.
He's never nude.
I can't get over Jason Bateman, how much his teeth have changed from now to Ozark.
I think you're saying why Lance can't
No, the mom was not funny at all. Like, she needs to be completely wiped out.
But that show was popular in the early 2000s?
2004, something like that.
Probably. It was network TV, wasn't it?
I think it was FX, wasn't it?
Somehow they got Ron Howard to narrate it.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Yeah, pretty big deal. All right, Clay Travis is next. This is the next round.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing. Start your engine! Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix, powered by AmFirst, at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, you. Days warming up. Looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst coming up May 12th through the 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free public admission. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. How about this? Free Velcro Pygmies concert coming up on Saturday. Mother's Day is Sunday. They're going to take care of mom with free mimosas all day on Sunday. For more information for this incredible event, go online, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
We'll get to Clay Travis in a moment. Coming up a little bit later on. Until then, we'll bounce around with some other sports headlines for you. Storm Restoration Roofing, by the way, can do you solid. You know, I was thinking when I was running yesterday, I was thinking to myself, walking.
Wait, let's stop.
Walking,
I don't believe this one.
Walking and occasionally jogging of things that, because I replied to a text from somebody and I went, cool beans. And I was like, things I used to say in the 90s that nobody says anymore.
Cool beans.
I don't know if I've ever said cool.
Has it really
Cool
stood the
beans.
test
I
of
think
time?
it was a 90s thing. Another one, do you a solid. Greg Nelson will do you a solid by getting up on your roof and giving you a free no-cost roof inspection. That's what Greg looks like walking out with a TNR hat on at a big music festival. And then that's him working with the big black beauty, that big pickup truck down there. He owns Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531. You can look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. Locally owned, A-plus rated with a Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. That helps you so much. And I'll tell you this. Here's what you're going to love about him. He will be so honest with you. So many people that have used him from our show will tell you that they thought they needed a new roof. He comes out and gives them that no-cost roof inspection and says, I think you have about 3 more years on this roof. Well, we'll look at it again in another year or two and see where we are. That's the kind of guy he is. He replaces roofs, storm damage, and also gives you that free no-cost roof inspection. Storm Restoration Roofing or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. All right, portal news is going on. One of the biggest things happening, I mean, we trash Dion for the people that left. He's brought in a couple of good people, and another one yesterday, Ohio State running back Dallin Hayden to Colorado. Never really was able to be the main guy for Ohio State, but when he carried the ball, he was good.
Yeah,
he's off to Colorado.
But he is odd man out, though, with those 2 running backs they've got right now.
Well, we saw that video of running back number 2.
Yeah, running back number 2 at Colorado. Somebody sent us that, a friend of the show, the backup basically getting number 2 carries. This guy could get some playing time quick, and he was not going to get it at Ohio State. I mean, I think all you got to do is look at that RB room and see that your touches are going to go downhill, right?
Right.
With those 2 guys.
Yeah, obviously. But
I don't even know who's going to lead Ohio State in rushing. Who would you put your money on?
I would, if Travion Henderson is healthy, I would go Travion
over Judkins.
Yeah,
because you got to think Ryan Day has a little. I mean, I recruited
loyalty?
this guy. Yeah.
Judkins is awful good though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, neither's going to surprise me.
Hayden is off to Colorado. Little developing news, according to Patrick. Latrell Wrightsell says he's coming back.
Hang on real quick. Can I finish the thought on what you're talking about right there? Matt Zenitz just reporting. So set the story up you just said about Ohio State running back.
Ohio State running back Dallin Hayden to Colorado.
Colorado running back Savion Wilkerson has entered the transfer portal. According to Matt Zenitz, it's like Deion gets one in, one goes. One in, one goes.
Why not? Patrick is saying Wrightsell is officially back LFG.
Latrell Wrightsell has just from his social media account released a video, and it says, "Let's run it back." And it's a video of him, obviously, as an Alabama basketball player. Let's run it back.
Yeah, hey, look, man, dude. Another one of these great perimeter shooters, and had a really good year one from Cal State Fullerton under Nate Oates, and that's one of those guys that I think every Alabama fan wanted back.
I mean, if you get Sears, and Scott is showing some of that on social media, if Sears comes back, and I mean, that is a heck of a backcourt. If Aiden Holloway becomes the type of player you think he can become.
Well, I mean, he doesn't even really have to become the shooter. He's already a distributor of the point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He has a skill set that he can get the ball to the guys who can shoot on the perimeter. Just usually Nate likes to have all shooters out there. So if he can develop his shot, then, he's McDonald All-American. So
yeah, but I mean, that backcourt and then Mallet out of Pepperdine. Yeah. I mean, you've got a
young blood out of South Florida.
I mean, that is a loaded backcourt for Alabama. If Sears comes back. Now, even if Sears doesn't come back, you've still got a lot of good pieces there. But if Sears comes back, I mean, that is one heck of a backcourt Alabama's got.
Which one of you were saying there were some indications that maybe Mark was coming back yesterday afternoon? Somebody up here was telling me it looks like
me.
Mark's
I mean, I
back.
assume he will, but
I
haven't heard anything.
I'd say if they can lock down that good rim protecting five. And there is speculation. I was going to address this. Somebody said it in the chat room, Royal Payne. There's speculation that Nelson is just kind of waiting to see what they get at the 5 before making his final decision. The unsaid there would be Nelson doesn't want to play the 5. So
because his future in the NBA
is not at that position. So if you can find somebody that can play the 5 and you're able to work that out, now that is one heck of a starting 5 for Alabama. And we mentioned Auburn starting 5 yesterday with Broome coming back and with those two guards, with the guards they've gotten.
Cardwell's back.
I mean, those two starting 5s are absolutely legit starting 5s.
Yeah, could be another good, fun basketball season. Do I need to start a countdown to basketball season too?
Well, I mean,
we've become such a basketball state now.
You can't. Can you get the football one right?
No, you ain't getting the basketball right.
124. Yeah, but there is a first night of basketball.
124 basically add 90, right?
Yeah,
or 60
probably.
Or whatever it is. Yeah.
Armour Rory, not leaving T-Town this week, says Brody. He is going to visit Alabama this weekend. Also visiting Kansas State, I believe. So we'll see
Jerome Tang can coach, man. That's an underrated program.
Yeah,
Do we still have Midnight Madness when it comes to hoops?
Not as big
They
anymore.
quit doing it now,
anymore.
Remember how big that was in Kentucky?
I do, yeah. I remember Tubby Smith jumping out of or coming dressed as the Wildcat, I think, and taking the head off.
Well, I think Kentucky still does some kind of celebration. I just don't think it's at midnight anymore, and they do start practice. But everybody used to jump on that Midnight Madness or some kind of party, and I don't think that's a big a deal anymore. Show being brought to you by Redmond. We'll jump into a couple of other things. Tell us about Redmond Vodka.
Yeah, available in 22 states right now, locally owned and operated. Charles Barkley, one of the great faces behind it. If you're at a local bar or restaurant, ask for it by name. If they don't have it, tell them to get it. It's gluten-free. It's 8 times distilled. Available at your local package store, including Beverage Place, Pink Package. Pick up a bottle today of Redmond Vodka.
Can I just address this real quick? Jay Alshby says, why do we think Nelson's good enough to be in the NBA, but Sears is not? Sears is good enough to be in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
That's not his issue.
It's all size.
Yeah, Sears not tall enough to be in the NBA.
Yeah, and maybe he is.
Maybe he is, but if he's not in the NBA, it's
there's
because
a
he's not
stigma
tall
of guys that are 6 feet or shorter in the NBA.
That's right.
But he definitely has skill set.
Yeah. Clay Travis is the founder of Outkick, Fox Sports as well, and you can follow him on Twitter at Clay Travis. What is up, Clay? How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Doing fantastic. Thanks a lot. It is NFL Draft Week. I don't know that it feels the same around here. There were years where Alabama, they were going to have 4 guys go in the top 10, it felt like, or whatever. Is this a week that still fires you up as a Titans fan? Do you still get fired up for draft week?
I mean, I'm excited because the Titans have the 7th pick, but I don't know that it matters who the Titans take at the 7th pick because I'm not convinced Will Levis is ever going to be any good.
Yeah, that is what's frustrating, Clay. What do you do? Like, you're not going to take a quarterback, and Will Levis isn't the answer. I mean, that has got to be super frustrating if you're a Titans fan.
Well, it's just like you basically are killing time for 2 or 3 years until you go get another quarterback, right? So I think probably we'll see whether Malik Neighbors is on the board or not. I think that might be an interesting decision. Otherwise, I think it'll be Joe Alt. So I think the answer is you go ahead and take what you hope is a linchpin for the next 7 or 8 years on the left side of your offensive line. And even if you're not sure who he's going to be blocking for in the years ahead, which I think is likely to be the case, right? Because I, again, am not sold on Will Levis. Then I think you go ahead and at least go get an elite left tackle with the idea being that he'll be a good blocker for whomever the quarterback is in the years ahead.
Quarterback is such a crapshoot. After Zach Wilson got traded to the Broncos yesterday, I think of the 4 or 5 quarterbacks taken in the first round of 2021, only Trevor Lawrence is with his original team. With that said, there are people making an argument there are 4 franchise-like quarterbacks in this draft. Do you think there is 1 or 2 can't-miss guys?
So, look, what I saw from Jaden Daniels and from Caleb Williams at times was transcendent, I thought. And I'm a little bit concerned about Jaden Daniels' size. Can he take hits in the NFL where you're going to get popped a lot? He's still a very skinny guy. And I'm a little bit concerned about Caleb Williams and the maturity issues. Drake May showed flashes. J.J. McCarthy, to me, I know they won a national championship, but he feels more like a Will Levis type who can make every throw, but didn't do it necessarily on a consistent basis. And so I would say I'm more confident in Caleb Williams and in Jaden Daniels than in anybody else. I am intrigued to see Michael Penix and Bo Nix because now there's talk that there could be 6 first-round quarterbacks, and that would obviously be a crazy number. But what I think it's representative of is what we were just talking about with the Titans. If you don't have a top 10 quarterback, then there's really no hope for your franchise, and it doesn't matter how well you do at other positions. And it kind of sucks, honestly, if you don't have one of those quarterbacks, as I know Ryan Brown still fondly remembers the Dan Marino days. We'll see whether Tua still ends up being the guy. I know he's going to get paid a lot of money, but I think the verdict is still out. But in particular in the AFC, I mean, these guys are also young. Patrick Mahomes is still, I think, only like 26, whatever the heck he is. And then you toss in Joe Burrow. We'll see how long the staying power is for Lamar Jackson. But Josh Allen, Justin Herbert. I mean, the number of guys you have to beat in the AFC that are just incredibly elite at the quarterback position is brutal. And if you were asking me right now, I don't think the Titans will. Again, I would love to be wrong about Will Levis. I don't think I am. I don't think the Titans will contend for the AFC title for a decade or more based on the way things look right now.
Yeah, isn't it crazy what happened to that 2021 quarterback draft? Because I think we thought all of them were really good, and now the only guy with Zach Wilson being traded to Denver, the only guy still left in his place is Trevor down at Jacksonville. All those guys that were drafted in the first round are at different teams now, and some of them are looking like flops. These quarterbacks.
And is the jury still out on Trevor Lawrence, you think?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I mean, you would rather have C.J. Stroud by far than you would Trevor Lawrence right now, and we don't know about Anthony Richardson, who got knocked out, I think, in week 6 or 7 last year, if I remember correctly, and basically is still a rookie coming back for his second season. But, yeah, that's the other thing that's kind of a tough spot to be in if you're a Titans fan is you've got 4 quarterbacks right now, all of whom are 25 or younger, and I think honestly maybe you would put Anthony Richardson in last place right now. There's just not a lot of data for him, But again, I'm just not very optimistic on Will Levis long range.
Clay Travis is with us, founder of Outkick Fox Sports. You could make the argument, I don't know how you guys would feel about this, it is the most important position in any sport, NFL quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
I don't even think there's a close second.
Yeah, some people used to say starting pitcher in Major League Baseball, but I'm beyond that.
You got 5 of those.
Yeah, you get 5 of those.
Yeah.
It's quarterback in NFL. Yet, nobody has ever found an efficient way of evaluating these guys.
Yeah, I know.
Isn't that wild?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you consider the amount of money that's at stake, the drafting of quarterbacks is still basically a crapshoot. The thing is, if you get it right, the one positive is you've got a guy for 10 or 15 years, which is relatively rare. But the problem is you miss a lot. And, I feel like for the Titans, they got a little bit lucky with the reclamation project of Ryan Tannehill. But if you look since Steve McNair, they've swung and missed with Vince Young. And some of these have been bigger misses than others, right? I mean, you can still have not been an unmitigated disaster. I mean, Vince Young played in a playoff game, but swung and missed with Vince Young, swung and missed with Jake Locker, swung and missed with Marcus Mariota, and I'm afraid are going to swing and miss with Will Levis. And all 3 of those first guys, I think Levis ended up, the first pick of the second round or the second pick of the second round, something like that. So he's effectively a first rounder. But Vince Young, I believe, went 3 overall. He was the first quarterback taken that year. Jake Locker, I think, went, and I know it was a top 10 pick. I think he went. I know Cam went number 1 that year, if I remember correctly, and Jake Locker ended up behind. Who's the guy from Missouri that played
Blaine
forever
Gabbert?
but never? Yeah, Blaine Gabbert, I think, went above Jake Locker too. But then you look at Mariota went 2 to Jameis Winston. So in other words, there's 3 top 10 picks in the last 15 years that the Titans have swung and missed on at quarterback, and unfortunately, I feel like Will Levis is going to end up the 4th.
Andy brings up what I was about to bring up to you. That's why I love what the 49ers have done. They have just surrounded what appears to be an average quarterback or a manager of quarterback with just elite talent.
They got the luckiest break of all time. The guy that was drafted dead last ends up actually being a good
and by the way, before you get to your point, Clay, they still haven't won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But they've been damn good.
Point out that they also swung and missed on Trey Lance in the process. So they actually wasted whatever. Why didn't they take him the first quarterback?
No, wait a minute. They swung and missed on Garoppolo too.
Trey Lance was part of that 2021 draft.
Right. But back-to-back quarterbacks they missed on, and the one they hit on is the luckiest pick of all time. I mean, nobody thought that guy was going to be any good.
Yeah, and I think also that's a credit. I mean, I know he gets a lot of criticism because he hasn't won a Super Bowl, but I do think Kyle Shanahan is one of the 4 or 5 best. Play calling. Offensive and head coaches in the NFL. So I do think even if you look, I mean, he won a lot of games with Garoppolo. Garoppolo started a Super Bowl for him. So yes, they swung and missed completely on Trey Lance, but I think that's a sign of how well they've done elsewhere. And here's a crazy stat for you, since you guys are talking draft. Look this up. I think this is the first time the Rams have drafted in the first round in 7 years.
Yeah, since 2016, Jared Goff, absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be great when they take Bo Nix. Les Snead takes Bo Nix.
Because they've won it, they won a Super Bowl, and they haven't even drafted.
Well, in those, think about this, Clay. In those 7 years, Sean McVay has taken them to the postseason 5 times, 2 Super Bowls, 1 championship.
That's why the first round's so overrated.
I don't know about
that. They've killed it. What would you give for Puka's a first-round guy, right? Cooper Kupp, they obviously got him, whatever it was, the 3rd round.
Yeah, 3rd round, Puka 5th round.
Yeah. They've gotten first-round caliber talent. How many NFL teams right now would give up a first-round pick for Puka? A lot, I think, and he's only been in the league for 1 year.
So, random question yesterday. Jack Nicholson, the legendary actor, was 87 years old. Asked the question, better career, Jack Nicholson or Jack Nicklaus?
I thought you were going to ask me about Jack Nicklaus. I think Jack Nicklaus, right? He has the most majors of all time. Jack Nicholson is an incredible actor, but I think there are probably 4 or 5 other guys you could put in his age range that you would say, just off the top of my head, what is Nicholson, 80? How old did you say he was?
87.
Oh, wow, I didn't know he was that old.
Yeah. And didn't Nicholas change the way courses were designed
Not
a little bit?
as much as Tiger, but maybe to a certain extent, yeah.
No, I mean, not by his game, but
his design company.
His business, his design company.
He's been a succcul golf businessman beyond that.
Like he's the one that started to make it more fan-friendly, player-friendly golf courses as opposed to those old 1970 raised greens, postage stamp greens. They made bigger greens. I thought Jack was one of the authors of that early on.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, too, because I was thinking that Nicholson was not as old, because I was going to say, I kind of think of Pacino and De Niro as, kind of contemporaries of his. I guess those guys are probably approaching, 80 themselves. But I think, having more majors than anybody in the history of the game, I don't think you can argue that Jack Nicholson is the greatest actor of all time.
I mean, I don't know, 12 Academy Award nominations and 3 wins.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, boy, yeah. Who has more nominations? Anybody?
Oh, I don't know.
Meryl Streep.
Is that all? That's not all for.
That's all. I mean, yeah, best supporting and best actor.
So best supporting or best
lead.
lead.
So
Meryl Streep probably has.
Yeah, Meryl Streep. Yeah, if we're talking, if you want to throw actresses in there.
Yeah.
But I don't know anybody else that would have that many nominations. He's been nominated for 17 Golden Globes.
Well, I'll just tell you this. List of actors with 3 or more Academy Award nominations is the Wikipedia site that pops up. So that shows you how rare that is.
I will just, Dunaway, I think, is going to be arguing soon that we have to do away with the best actor and best actress category. I mean, why segregate by gender?
No. See, this is what your side does. For those of us that are in the middle that don't like what you guys do to our country,
I don't know that we should be acknowledging gender in this way.
You two political parties who try to pull us apart and play ratings games with us. There's some of us that still believe in the middle ground and a compromise.
I believe men and women are equal.
Hey, speaking of actors, a guy that we haven't seen in forever because obviously in a little bit of trouble, Alec Baldwin. I saw you posted he was getting coffee. What happened?
Yeah, have you guys seen that video? You should play it.
Yeah. And I will tell you this. You think I'm this woke guy, that whoever that person is behind the camera is way out of line and should go to jail.
Go to jail?
Go to jail.
I think the idea. By the way, you guys did really good work from Talladega. There was a lot of funny videos.
Thank you.
That was
credit to Little T and EG and Kelsey and all the people behind the scenes. They did great.
It was very funny stuff. I am so over this whole era of see someone grab your phone and put your phone right in their face. So the video is basically somebody sees Alec Baldwin. And look, I'm no great fan of Alec Baldwin. I think he was an incredible actor, but I think he's done a lot of ridiculous things that have nothing to do with acting. But, a girl I'm assuming it's probably like a New York City area coffee house, just gets her phone and puts it right in his face and demands that he say free Palestine and criticize Israel and just chases him around the restaurant or the coffee shop. And he's trying to open the door and allow her to leave. And it's probably a minute and a half of her just with the camera right in his face. And finally, he just either tries to grab the camera or knock it out. She says he assaulted her. But I think this whole idea we've normalized of people just pulling their phones out and putting it right in somebody's face and demeaning them is, to me, I think it's just a sign of the descent of society in general. I mean, if you want to take a picture with somebody famous or you want to ask, whatever, I'm totally fine with it. But getting your camera and recording it and trying to make yourself look like the victim when somebody finally gets tired of having a camera shoved right in their face.
The reason they do that, Clay, is because Alec is known to go off every time somebody puts a camera in his face. So she knows she's going to get a reaction.
Oh yeah, she got what she wanted.
Yeah, but see, if I'm on the jury or if I'm the judge,
Jimmy America,
it's going to flip back around. Not only do I dismiss it, I charge her and send her to jail. I'm one of those judges that would say, I don't care what the jury says. I've seen enough. 6 months in jail for that young lady. Alec, have a good day.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a big picture. I'm reading actually a really good book by I think the guy's name is Jonathan Haidt about the collapse of society, basically with the rise of phones. And what's interesting is he said, I mean, girls in particular, teenage girls have been the biggest, mental health has collapsed basically with the introduction of the iPhone across the board. And I think it's certainly led to greater societal division. But his thesis is that, and I feel somewhat fortunate because I just turned 45, and you guys are old enough as well. Like, you're not totally foreign when it comes to the internet, but you developed in the real world before the internet existed and certainly before the iPhone existed. And Gen Z, which is basically an entirely iPhone-centric generation, they're just falling apart. And so there are all these different studies now that are making it clear that, for instance, a kid shouldn't have a phone at school. And one of the big arguments that he makes in this book, and again, the guy's name is Jonathan Haidt. Anxious Generation, I think, is the title of the book. Is that, like, this is not particularly partisan. They should take phones out of schools. Kids shouldn't be on social media until they're like 16 years old. But it's been incredibly toxic and destructive. And I think generations ahead are going to look. Everybody thinks they're so smart. I think generations ahead are going to look at the iPhone and social media as the equivalent of cigarettes and smoking. And nowadays you see nobody smoking a cigarette almost, right? Like it's certainly not anybody very often who's in their 20s smokes a cigarette, but these kids are on their phones all the time. And I think there is an analogy to be drawn between cigarettes and social media and the iPhone and what it's done to mental health. Anyway, and I
some
think
lawyer in town's ears just perked up thinking about a class action lawsuit.
I think that Alec Baldwin video is representative of that in general. And so anyway, I think The Anxious Generation is the name of the book. It's a fabulous read. I think it's the #1 best-selling book in America right now by a guy named Jonathan Haidt, Haidt. I'd encourage people to check it out.
Are you Oprah now? You got a book club on your show in the
book
afternoon?
Club.
I don't think the guy needs to get any endorsements from me. I mean, it's the #1 book in America. I think it's going to sell 1 million copies of it probably.
Clay Travis.
And if all of you look under your seats right now, you've got a free copy.
Yeah. Clay, thank you for the time. Have a great week.
All right, see y'all.
All right, Clay Travis with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
I owe you an apology. Jack Nicholson
Nicholson
is even better than I thought he was. Only Katharine Hepburn has more Academy Award wins in the actor and actresses categories than Jack Nicholson. There's a small group that have 3. That includes
Daniel Day-Lewis has got 3.
Jack Nicholson, Meryl Streep, Ingrid Bergman, Daniel Day-Lewis, Frances McDormand, and Walter Brennan. That's it.
You know what's crazy is I was looking at Meryl Streep. She's got 21 total nominations, 17 of which are for lead actress.
Yep.
She's won 3.
Yep.
You know how hard that thing is to win? She's got 17 lead actress nominations.
Well, to be nominated 17 times.
Well, 21 overall, but 17 for lead. Yeah, that's insane.
She 21 overall is in the lead by 9 over the next closest one.
Yeah. Hasn't won one since 2011. Is the dynasty over for her?
It is. It is.
The dynasty's definitely over for Jack.
Yeah. It's just crazy that the wins are so few there. So few. Peter O'Toole never won one.
Oh, man, Peter O'Toole didn't?
Never won one.
Holy crap.
Show being brought to you today. Did you do Redmond earlier?
I did.
Okay, yep. Michelson Laser Vision then.
205-969-8100. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. After I got the procedure done, took 12 minutes for both eyes. 2015 vision better than 2020. Call that number, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Ask her about the pre-inflation pricing. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark and Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, in my opinion. Call them today, 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
I guess the only developing story so far is Latrell Wrightsell making the announcement on his social media today. He's definitely back at Alabama. Don't know if there was any thought if he was not going to be, but he is back, and that is a good thing for Alabama fans. Bruce Feldman on the college players transitioning to the NFL draft and a lot more at the top of the hour. When we come back, a little bit more of what's going on with the portal news and a couple other big things in college football. That's on the other side right here on TNR.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing. Start your engine! Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, back with you.
There ain't enough money, Jimmy.
Oh, you never know that with our buddy Charles Barkley. He is he's their punching bag on that show, man. They have such a good time with that.
He takes it with such good.
He does.
And he'll give it back.
He gives it back some. I do love that show. I'll be honest, I love their show more than I do the NBA games.
I agree. That's the most entertaining part of the night is you catch the end of the playoff games, and those are good endings last night, and then watch their show.
Yeah. The show today being brought to you, before we get to 4 downs, being brought to you by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. In the middle of eating a protein bar right now, one for breakfast, a snack now. I'll have my own lunch later on. This one is like $100,000 bar. 1,000. What is it? 100,000. 100 grand. 100 grand bar.
100,000 grand.
It's a lot.
That is a lot.
That is a great bar, though.
Oh, it is such a good bar. And it helps you. It fills you up, man. A lot of protein kicked into this thing. And that's my favorite candy bar, too. So bang, bang. Thank you very much, Way to Wellness. You can find out what Way to Wellness can do for you by going to their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free. Every plan is different. Check them out right now and start your weight loss journey, control your blood pressure, and so much more. It's aplanforme.com. Aplanforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. I'll give Forrester time to transition to the graphic you have for him, Brown, but you have a point about quarterbacks in the NFL.
Now, Scott, don't pull this up yet. Don't pull it up yet. I'm going to set Scott up for this.
Brown wants a big reveal here, Scott.
Well, because I think you guys are going to be surprised at this. I was reading over the weekend two NFL guys, one of which is Jim Nagy. Jim is a friend of ours, director of the Senior Bowl, but before that worked for a number of NFL franchises, and Daniel Jeremiah. Basically, they had the same path up. Both of them were talking about everybody we've ever talked to in the NFL, everybody we've ever worked for in the NFL says all quarterbacking is what you do in the pocket in the NFL.
Right.
Like
rising, moving in the pocket.
Everything is about what you do in the pocket. Now, what you do on the run, what you do on broken plays, that's important. But to win in the NFL, you got to have a quarterback that can win in the pocket. That's where he's going to spend most of his time.
Yep.
You guys watch a lot of NFL. I think just watching it as a general fan, that's true, right?
Tom Brady, Joe Montana popped to mind.
So Louis Riddick was basically working on this theory, and he said, well, who has the best QBR of the top prospects from the pocket? These are only in-pocket passes. Who do you think's got the best in-pocket QBR?
I'm going to say...
I've got 6 quarterback prospects.
You've got 6 quarterbacks. Very highly rated, not in any particular order. Surprisingly, is going to be Michael Penix and J.J. McCarthy.
Michael Penix and J.J. McCarthy, surprisingly, by the way. Who do you think best in the pocket? QBR.
I actually think it's Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams is Lance's guess. Scotty, show them the stats. Bo Nix, the Oregon quarterback, a 93.1 QBR in the pocket. Jaden Daniels, 90 QBR. Michael Penix Jr., 85.5. J.J. McCarthy, fast riser, 83.7. Caleb Williams, 75.2. And Drake May is the worst of the top prospects at 68.8 QBR from the pocket.
You guys know how I feel about Drake May.
I do. You think he's going to be a bad bust?
He's my Kenny Pickett of this draft. I'm a big Bo Nix fan, right? Nobody has supported Bo since he left Pensacola Valley more than me.
Because you wanted to be right on the Heisman thing.
That is a little bit of a system to me.
I don't disagree with
he's in the pocket shorter than the other guys.
Maybe so.
Shorter than he's going to be in the NFL.
I think Jaden Daniels is going to be the best quarterback.
You've said that all along. You like him even better than Caleb Williams.
I do.
Yeah.
Does that worry you, though, that number about Caleb Williams?
Yeah.
I mean, that is a worrisome number, isn't it?
Yeah.
that is way off. Yeah. I mean, even if
some of that is offensive line.
Caleb Williams
I got to get out of the
line.
pocket if I got a crappy offensive line.
Yep. But that number is way, way off from Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels and Michael Penix.
Yeah. But I would say on the flip side, not that I know more than Jim Nagy and Daniel Jeremiah
and
or Louis Riddick.
Yes, any of those three.
Louis Riddick. I do think that throwing off platform is becoming more and more important in the NFL as time goes on, right? Being out of the pocket and not having the ability to plant and throw downfield, to be able to throw on the run.
But your ability to be able to get out of pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, just to keep the play alive and have pocket awareness.
Listen, it's like rolling the freaking dice when it comes to quarterbacks. We went through what went on in 2021. We're not giving it away because Taylor is going to send this out. She's working on a graphic and social media, not by who we think the Chicago Bears should take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have picked our 5. I went about it as the 5 players I think are the best players in the draft and that I think will be really good in the NFL. And, they can tell you how they did theirs, but that'll come out at some point on all of our social media platforms at Next Round Live, Make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're watching us right now and you hadn't subscribed on YouTube or followed us on Facebook or on Twitter or Instagram, go ahead and do that right now. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow you to do that and allow stations to identify themselves. And give us a thumbs up. We appreciate you so much. That helps us tremendously. 4 Downs every day, brought to you by the great folks at Slice Pizza. We had some folks in town from out of town yesterday, and we said, if you're going to lunch right now, just down the road from here, one of the great 5 locations of Slice.
And Andrew, one of those, Andrew and Jonathan in studio with us. Andrew actually brought his wife in town a couple of months ago and thanked us for recommending Slice. 5 locations, the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, now Edgewood, right there on the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get in, get a slice and a salad. Just the best specialty pizzas out there, from the soul pie, the Bajaia special, wing and a prayer. You're going to absolutely love them. 5 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
More wins this year. Zach Wilson with the Broncos or Russell Wilson with the Steelers?
I'm going to go Russell Wilson with the Steelers. There's a little kid named Jarrett Stidham that's out in Denver that I'm not sure he doesn't beat out Zach Wilson. I know Zach Wilson has started like 33 games in his career, and Jarrett's only started 12.
I have no idea which one's better.
11 and 21 is a starting quarterback, by the way.
But
Zach Wilson's a better quarterback.
In the system, there's a reason Jarrett Stidham's hanging around with Sean Payton. But I'm still not sure the Broncos don't go get a quarterback. I'm not sure they don't work a way to trade up or do something to.
Yeah, they had to split $5.5 million, and they gave up a 7th rounder, but they don't have a lot invested. If they've got a guy sitting at,
they picked 12, Lance.
Yeah, if they've got a guy sitting at 12. Yeah. A lot of people thought it was Bo next, but if you get, Zach's kind of the same player as Bo, just not with as much experience.
I thought that as well when I saw that happen. Michael Penix now is being talked about maybe in the top 8 to like the Atlanta Falcons. But if for some reason he slips down to 9 or 10.
So I think Penix and Jaden Daniels are those two quarterbacks that I think are going to work out in this draft. Zach Wilson, I think he's going to be the starting quarterback at Denver. I think Denver's going to be a little bit better than they were last year. The thing with Russell Wilson, if he struggles at all, why would you not play Fields?
That's right.
Yeah, you've got the perfect insurance policy there, right?
Yeah, Fields is, at least a lot of people believe the future for Pittsburgh. So that's my only hesitation with Russell. Pittsburgh, better organization, but I'm going to go Zach Wilson here.
Second down.
Andrew Jones, 47 years old today.
How is this guy not in the Hall of Fame?
Remember when he was a 19-year-old playing the World Series?
I do. I've got a vivid memory of Andrew Jones that is very, very, very personal.
When he rips that home run at Yankee Stadium in the World Series at 19, you just think to yourself, sit back and enjoy this.
One year, when the late Ben Cook was still alive, for those who don't know who Ben is, he used to be the co-host with our buddy Herb Winches. And that was my first job at WJOX. I was producer of that show. Herb and Ben, legendary sports show for years. And Ben asked me, he was going to go cover a Braves game. He said, I'll get you a media credential and introduce you to all the Braves people. Would you like to go? And I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. So one Saturday, Ben and I loaded up and went to a Braves game. He showed me the ropes, the press box, took me down to the clubhouse and all that. Andrew Jones was in a heated cell phone conversation, no English whatsoever, in the clubhouse, just yelling at somebody on the cell phone. I can't understand anything he said, so I got no idea what he was yelling about or who he was talking to. I will just never forget that about Andrew Jones, just yelling in his cell phone in Spanish. Couldn't understand a word. He was pissed, though.
Yeah, I remember seeing Andrew out back in the old Buckhead days when Buckhead was a big thing, and he's not as big as you would think.
Really?
Was there a club that I used to go to over there called the Ivy?
Yeah, I've been to the Ivy. That's in.
No, that's still going on. It's in Buckhead.
It's in Buckhead.
Different side of Buckhead.
Yeah, I can't say it right now.
That was the only Buckhead place I went.
Yeah, I've been to Ivy.
No, but did you never go to Buckhead when they had like Lulu's and everything was all together?
I never went to Lulu's.
It was like, it was Broadway. Or no, it was Bourbon Street back in the day.
No, I never did. Wow. I always thought it was fragmented every time I went there. So I always went Midtown. It was bar after bar after bar. Yeah, once Midtown happened, I started going to Midtown.
I haven't even asked my question.
Yeah, what is the question about Andrew?
So Andrew Jones, 47. Better career, Andrew Jones or James Earl Jones?
I think I would go James Earl Jones.
I think I would go Andrew Jones.
I would go Andrew Jones because, James Earl Jones is the voice of CNN. He's got some good roles. He's the voice of Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
But those are voices.
Moonlight Graham.
Moonlight Graham, though. That Field of Dreams is a pretty significant movie.
It is. He was not the lead or anything.
Well, he had a pretty big role in it.
He was a blind man in Sandlot. He owned a big dog.
Yeah, he did. Scary.
Still haven't seen that movie.
It's a good flick, man. Sandlot's
I
good.
need to.
Yeah, a lot of slobber in that movie.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, I'm gonna go James Earl Jones.
I'm gonna go Andrew Jones.
I'll go Andrew.
Third down.
John Cena, 47 years old today.
Cena Ward.
John Cena or John McEnroe?
John Cena or John McEnroe.
The only reason I bring this up, it seems like a landslide McEnroe, but Cena continues to get role after role in Hollywood now. We could bring Lunsford in because he's got a big background on wrestling. I don't know what Cena did at the wrestling level, though. I guess he was good.
He's one of the biggest wrestlers ever. This is easily Cena, and not even close.
McEnroe won like 9 majors, I think.
And then hasn't he granted like the most Make-A-Wishes ever?
He's done the most Make-A-Wishes ever.
McEnroe or Cena?
Cena. McEnroe ever done one?
I don't know.
Look, Cena is just everybody's saying
If you stop 10 random people on the street, maybe one would know who McEnroe was.
Yeah.
All 10 would know who Cena was.
Well, I mean, that is an age thing.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I didn't say
McEnroe
10
in the 80s.
kids.
He said
Cena,
10 people.
Cena now.
But, McEnroe has remained a pretty big face in his sport for a very long time because of his work with ESPN.
Did John Cena, did he do a little UFC too on his way out of wrestling? No, never.
Yeah.
He hosted a little wipeout.
He did those Wipeout.
Yeah.
That was when Wipeout got bad, man.
What's your phone doing over there?
Yeah.
Somebody calling you? I'm going to go John Cena. That phone is it's going to be the death of you.
I mean, John McEnroe was the face of tennis for a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
When tennis was big. I mean, tennis is not.
I would say this, though.
He would never be on a Mount Rushmore.
How many
though.
good acting roles has John Cena had, though?
Oh, he's just started. I mean, probably Suicide Squad is the best thing he's done.
Like he was that bad boyfriend in that Amy Schumer movie, was it?
Trainwreck, where he got
That
naked.
movie was a train wreck.
He got naked with Amy Schumer. There were some funny parts in Trainwreck.
Yeah.
Bill Hader was good in Trainwreck.
But growing up, it was like as I remember it, you were either McEnroe or Connors if you watched any tennis growing up, and I was always a Connors guy. But I ended up liking McEnroe in his TV days as an analyst.
I thought he was really good as an analyst.
Yeah. J.A., I apologize for the phone ringing. I am not the guy who usually has his phone ringer on, but I have a new phone, and I can't get it to be silent.
Yes.
Like I did my other one. So
over in the chat, tennis is far larger now than when John McEnroe was around. I don't know. I mean,
well, not in America because we don't have any good American players.
I remember watching Wimbledon on HBO, and I thought it was a big deal, and I watched a lot of it. I haven't watched.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if it's bigger internationally because most of the great male
But
players
wrestling is a lot bigger than tennis in general.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's going to get bigger numbers than any tennis. Yeah.
4th down.
William Shakespeare would have been 460 today.
Billy Shakes.
That would have been quite the run, wouldn't it?
Yep.
But think about how relevant he is 460 years later.
Oh, still amazing.
That's true.
Let's do a game quickly. Let's guess who he's pairing him with.
Okay.
Well, it's going to be tough. I mean, Billy Shakes is pretty big. I'm going to say better career, William Shakespeare or Tom Brady.
I'm going to say, William Shatner sounds like, but he's not going to do that.
This is too big. You're going to get past the Williams.
Britney Spears. Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. I'm going to say William Shakespeare or the Rolling Stones.
Okay.
Well, that's a good one, though. I like
both from England.
I think we both had a good
Bill
one.
Shakespeare or Bill Gates.
Oh, wow.
That's a tough one.
Think about how much money Shakespeare would have made if
on royalties,
if he'd hung around for royalties
460 years, or if he just would have set up a trust.
But I'm still going to say he wouldn't reach Gates' numbers anywhere close.
Oh, yeah, in 460
Are
years.
you kidding me? Do you know how much Bill Gates is worth?
Yeah, but you think about how much material has been used from Shakespeare over 460 years.
Well, yeah, but Bill Gates' net worth only 127 billion.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to go higher than that.
Well,
I'm going to back.
Apple's
I'm going
taking a little control of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, so you have Apple on the other hand.
I'm going to put it in reverse, Terry.
Do you know how many movies have taken a little bit of Shakespeare and turned it into their own screenplay?
I'm backing it up, Terry.
Well, so is Stephen King. Is he a bajillionaire?
No, that's a good point.
Everything he's written is turned into a series or a movie.
Now, if you'd gone Steve Jobs, I'd probably go Steve Jobs.
Yeah, but this is 460 years.
Yeah.
I mean, how many?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess. I don't think the planet will be here in 460 years. But you think we'll be talking about Bill Gates?
No, Chris says nobody will remember Gates in 100 years.
He's right about that. This is the argument I made about Babe Ruth and Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner will be forgotten in 100 years. We still talk about Babe Ruth 100 years later. Shakespeare he'll stand the test of time till we end, basically.
Till we end, yeah.
Yeah, they're always going to teach kids about Bill
because
Shakespeare.
everybody, even if you're not like a Shakespeare fan, everybody knows where he performed, right? Like, I bet you know from your University of Montevallo days.
Where Shakespeare, the Globe Theater.
There you go.
Wow. Where did that come from?
I know.
Where did that come from? How can I sit on it and pull it out of there at the same time?
You know, one of my favorite Shakespeare rock star is the Matt Foley. He goes, wow, we got Bill Shakespeare over here, Dad.
Actually, we've encouraged Ben to be a writer. Dad, won't you shut up your mouth?
Shut your pie hole.
Now, I honestly don't know anybody personally that has enjoyed the works of Shakespeare.
I could leave or take it. It has not affected my life one way or the other.
I like a little Romeo and Juliet.
Do you? You just like the Oak Ridge Boys song.
You know what? What was funny is seeing how these guys rank on the birthday ranks. Cena is number 1 today. But Olivia Hussey, who was in the original Romeo and Juliet movie, who played Juliet, She was on one of the birthdays a couple of weeks ago. I think she's 77 now.
Wow. How about that? Romeo and Juliet. Who is the female couple that sang the song? They were a grunge band in the 90s, a duet.
Indigo Girls?
Indigo Girls.
Yeah.
That version of Romeo and Juliet was really. What was that again?
Closer to fine.
I love 90s music. That is Four Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 5 great locations created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His legacy continued to be celebrated by his brothers, Jason and Chris. Get into one of those 5 locations today. Tell them the next round sent you. Enjoy a slice and a salad today. Local pizza, local ingredients.
Claire Danes is my number one Hollywood crush, and I can't explain it. It says J.A. Even after...
she's a crazy whore in Homeland.
Yeah, even after episode 1 in Homeland.
Drag a rag.
It was a bath cloth, Chip.
Somehow Mark Zuckerberg is not worth more than Bill Gates.
I mean, Mrs. Gates is at 171. I don't know what Zuckerberg is worth now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so meta, right?
Lunsford says, Bill Gates, disappointing 5th richest person in the world. Brown, probably.
No, I thought it was more than 171 billion, didn't you?
Yeah.
I guarantee you, if William Shakespeare was still alive, he would be the richest person in the world.
He'd be out of ideas by now, though, so he wouldn't have written anything in a while. We'd be criticizing
Well, he could just rewrite stuff. He could do sequels.
When's the last time Shakespeare?
What would the sequel to Romeo and Juliet be like? Do a prequel?
It'd be
Romeo and Juliet, Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. It would be Brownie. It would be. Hey, did you see where Lunsford and his wife went down to the Romeo and Juliet ride down at Disney World?
So broken.
It's a terrible ending. By the way. Terrible.
It's the last time I got rid of anything.
Don't drink it. And it would be like, God, he's just smelling it now. He's just cashing checks now.
Yeah,
just cashing checks.
Well, he looked rough back then. What would he look like right now at 460?
This Macbeth, he's just cashing checks now. All right, New York Butcher Shop gets you ready for the weekend. We approach the top of the hour here. Tell us about New York Butcher.
I was actually in the New York Butcher Shop last night. I went to pick up. You guys are going to die. What do you think I ate again last night?
I think you ate that sandwich that you fell in love with.
My gosh.
I did.
That's like 5 straight meals.
No, it's, I think 3 of the last 5 days I've had that sandwich. So anyway, it's Havarti cheese, some of the fresh bread from the New York Butcher Shop. We did strawberry preserve, mayonnaise, and fresh cut turkey.
It's
and
a good
put a
summer
little
sandwich.
butter. It is incredible. Leighton and Jack both loved it. Anyway, New York Butcher Shop, just a great place to stop in. 2 locations, the original in Cahaba Heights, the location 119 in Greystone. Fine wines, desserts, just great meat, rare quality, well-done service. Get in and see Jim and the guys, the New York Butcher Shop.
When we come back from TikTok, one of the great it's not a proposal. Promposals that I've ever seen. It came across my TikTok feed this morning. Forrester will have it queued up for us when we come back on TNR.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing. Start your engine! Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Region's Tradition, May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kaylin DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Region's Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mama Mother's Day Sunday. LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th. LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Back with you on the next round. For those of you concerned about my phone, it was a case issue that I had.
I'm super concerned. Thank God.
Jeez. I know. I've been
Rockstar, how many
putting out
calls?
fires here.
Rockstar, how many calls
I've
do we
got
get?
Lunsford walking in. Do you need help with your phone? The chat room's talking about it. Brown wants me to pop my collar like I'm on some 80s sitcom.
No, he's struggling with his collar. So he's wearing the Roback, the new Roback.
I got Roback shirt, Roback.
Why do too?
Yeah.
Code TNR 20 for 20% off initial purchase. I wore my my new. I wouldn't call that a sweater because it's so lightweight.
No, it's pullover, is what I call it.
No, it's not a pullover. I don't, right, Lance, what do you call this Roback? This new shirt we got? It's like a sweatshirt.
Oh, it's crew neck.
Crew neck. Yeah. So
welcome back, Lance.
I wore
I'm glad you're
I've
here.
got one on too.
Yeah, Lance wearing his. I wore mine to church Sunday, but I didn't wear a shirt under it. I just wore it with no shirt under it, which you guys make fun of me for doing.
Well, see, I'm going to play golf afterwards, and
Well, he's doing his different. I've got a T-shirt. I wear T-shirts.
Yeah, I wore nothing under it. Well, see, Dunaway's struggling with his golf
Right,
shirt collar though under it.
right.
Yeah, I noticed
and
that.
Me and Kelsey and EG told him he should just pop the
pop
collar.
it like I'm in.
just pop it.
What was that cocaine sniffing movie in the 80s?
Wall Street.
You know
battery's not included.
You know.
Yeah, I mean,
You know what
there's
I'm
a
talking
million of them.
No, it. They pull up and they walk into a bar. Everybody's snorting coke. It's
Sophie's Choice?
no. Never mind.
E.T.
No.
Dunaway's recalling movies is incredible.
part
Oh, me and Tyler at the same time.
Yeah, E.T. Tyler Jones says E.T.
They did not do cocaine in E.T.
No,
they
it's a joke. That's the joke.
Okay.
Laura says Lesson Zero. I can't
It
find
is Lesson Zero, Laura. Thank you.
I
Thank
can't
you.
find that movie anywhere. Wanted to introduce kids to it. Can't find it.
Because I don't. You guys didn't
Can't
live
find
in
it streaming anywhere.
You guys didn't live in the 80s, but we would pop our collars on our polo shirt for a brief period of time in the 80s.
Right?
I
you can
never
watch it
popped my
on-
collar. Hazy Shade of Winter, though, from the Bangles, much better than the Beach Boys.
I like
version.
Hazy Shade of Winter.
That is a great song.
Lance, you're gonna. This is gonna blow you away. You can watch it on the Roku channel, according to Google.
Oh, seriously?
Yes, you gotta have a premium subscription.
I don't know if I've got a premium subscription.
Amazon
but
Prime? Don't you have Prime?
I do.
Yeah, it says with a premium subscription, you watch it there too.
We got to get to Bruce Feldman here, who is scheduled to be with us at 11.
He's
Trending in a horrible direction right now to get Bruce on at some point here.
Tell him we were arguing about William Shakespeare. That will really blow his mind.
Our show being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA. 16 locations around Alabama, so important to you to stay on top of your health needs. All you have to do is go online to urologycentersalabama.com, urologycentersalabama.com, or call that number 205-930-0920, 930-0920. Instantly, first thing you think of, prostate health. Prostate health, so important in the 30s, 40s, 50s. It can sneak up on you. Early detection, so important. But everything from prostate health to kidney stones and everything in between, Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920 or urologycentersalabama.com. Forster's kids are still in prom age, and then we got one on the way to prom age. Our daughters have aged out of proms right now. Brown's got one that's heading towards there
She'll
again.
get there eventually, yep.
A brief period in time, it became an in thing. It started with just posters, and now it's how do you impress people to it's really for social media, really. I mean, this girl was going to say yes regardless. But here's my favorite one to date. Here we go. Hit it, Forrester. This guy has a U-Haul, and it says, "Will you haul my ass to prom?"
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's laughing, but if somebody pulled up to get my daughter in there,
Claire, will you haul my ass to prom?
I mean, it's a funny. I'll give him credit. That's funny.
I'd say, hey, I got some shit I need unloaded and dropped at the dump. If that's still a thing, and if you want to take that, then we can discuss it.
Yeah.
And then I would say, I don't think so.
Dude's riding on top of that U-Haul too. That's
Yeah,
dangerous.
well, you had to down the street to get Claire to say yes.
He's got the sign upside down. Did you notice that? Claire is upside down at first.
Yeah.
Did you notice
He
that?
made the switch.
Was that intentional, you think?
He made the switch.
I mean,
Claire did say yes.
Very creative, but if you're going to go to that amount of time and effort, would you not get somebody that can write? It looks like I actually did the writing on the side of that.
Which is poor penmanship.
Well, I mean, she's probably a cheerleader, so she couldn't get the cheerleaders to do those great signs they do on Friday
that's
night.
true.
He probably had to do it.
It's going to be no surprise there.
Netflix is about to have their first ever live roast. It's going to be Tom Brady coming up in May here.
Who are the roasters? Do you know yet?
Kevin Hart is the host. I don't know who's roasting him, but they usually pre-tape their roast and edit it for maximum comedy.
I'll tell you who's good on those is Jeff Ross. I don't know if you guys like it.
That's what he does.
He's
the
not
roast
good.
master.
Oh, but he's good. No, he's good on the roast, I think.
I don't think he's good on the roast. I think people love roasting him when he's on the roast.
The best roast joke of all time, the GOAT, the Hall of Fame roast joke of all time.
He just retired last week.
Was told by Blake Griffin.
Yep.
What did Blake say?
Oh, I can't read that. I don't know if I can recap
No,
it.
it was about Bruce Jenner. He's just talking about the Kardashian family.
That is
that they've got a type.
Yeah, that was the funniest line I've ever seen on a roast, and it was so well delivered by him.
That blonde hair girl who's on all the roasts, the comedian that cuts everybody
Nikki
to shreds,
Glaser?
is really good. She told one, I don't remember it all, but it was like somehow Kate Hudson came up, and then Hudson River, and then he was like, Justin Hudson River is in New York, and then it was like, New York is a city in a state called New York to somebody else, and then it was Shaq, New York's in the United States, and it was just making fun of how dumb everybody was. It was hilarious.
Patrice O'Neal was incredible.
Awesome. Loved him.
And finally, getting ready for the draft, Georgia offensive tackle Amarius Mims. I was reading today at ESPN.com, Amarius Mims' wingspan is just a quarter of an inch less than Giannis of the NBA, the Greek Freak.
How tall is Mims? 6'5"?
I don't have his height. He's an offensive tackle out of Georgia, but his wingspan when you
he's 6'8".
When you got his length of his arms to keep the defenders at bay,
that seems important.
He is a quarter inch different wingspan from Giannis.
He's got a little more opportunity to hold too.
Yeah. Massive human being.
He's 6'8", 340.
Yeah, like that upside. All right, we'll talk about the draft, that transition from college to the NFL with Bruce Feldman coming up on the other side. Lake Fest is coming up. We want all of you to get a chance to go hang out at Lake Fest this year. It's the annual event that includes the Velcro Pygmies.
Yeah, there's going to be free music all weekend long, including that concert, the Velcro Pygmies. That is coming up. Lake Fest is May 10th through the 12th. Logan Martin and the Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by Am First. Free admission for the public. It's right there on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats, vehicles on display, vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend, including the Velcro Pygmies on Saturday night. Fireworks show on a Friday night. Free mimosas for Mother's Day on Sunday. For more information, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the next round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing. Start your engine! Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new Chicken Bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
One and only Bruce Feldman joins the show now, 10 after top of the hour. That's brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Tailgates will be back in 124 days, and we can't wait. But anything in between, including a great picnic in the afternoon, you can do it with Champy's Chicken. World famous fried chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
All right, Bruce does tremendous work in college football as well, but also this time of year, I don't know, Bruce, if you've done this every year, the Draft Confidential, where you're able to talk to a lot of behind-the-scenes people about what they're saying about some of these players. It seems like we talk to you about this every year, and it is tremendous work. How are you, first of all? You doing well?
I'm doing great, thank you. Yeah, I've been doing this for maybe the last 4 or 5 years. It just felt like a natural extension for a couple of reasons. One, I go to the combine now every year. Always been really interested in the draft process, and we cover and focus on college football players all year round. And then when they go move on, you're sitting there watching maybe some of the NFL media talk about them, and it's like, okay, we know some of this, or it's like you feel like you have some maybe different insight or intel. And a lot of the coaches, honestly, who I talk to are former college coaches who have now been coaching in the NFL. Not all of them, but a bunch of them. And so you can get some really good perspective. And it's just kind of fascinating to me to, you can see some of these players, Brock Bowers, who was a dominant player at Georgia. How does his game translate to the NFL? There's so many different guys where you think you thought they were a great player, and maybe they were, but maybe it's not going to translate, or some other guys that the NFL looks at differently and thinking, wait, this guy may be way better as a pro than he actually was in college.
Well, when you're looking at wow moments, Caleb Williams, who will go number one overall to Chicago, he had a million of them over the last couple of years, but there are a lot of guys that don't like his game, Bruce. What are some of the knocks you've heard about Caleb?
Some of it really comes down to, I don't know if people are comfortable with kind of the way he handles himself, in terms of, you're hearing some of the things where, is he got some Russell Wilson in him, which will rub teammates the wrong way? Does he want to, how coachable is he? People really think he's the most talented, but there's a lot of other stuff where he has to clean up things and get out in the pocket and get the ball out on time. And some of that stuff, I think, doesn't translate that well, to be honest. One of the coaches made a point to me. It was like, you see him and he will make some wow plays, and that's part of what you love about him. Those are great plays in college, but not when Myles Garrett is rushing at you. And it's like some of the stuff he got away with in college, he will not get away with in the NFL. And did he pick up a lot of bad habits in how he played, especially last year? And now he's going to go into a situation at the Bears. We did a big story on this over the weekend, where a lot of times you need a young quarterback in the NFL, because it's a different world, needs to have, some real legit support and a veteran presence around him who he can learn from and listen to, who can tell him what's this and that, or how they need to be. And in the place he's going into at the Bears, you have a second-year free agent, undrafted free agent is the backup, and the other guy is Brett Rippon, who's was never an established quarterback. And I think that's different than, let's say, Patrick Mahomes, the guy Kale's most compared to. Pat Mahomes, when he got drafted in the first round, went to the Chiefs, sat behind Alex Smith for a year, who's a very well-respected, established quarterback. And then also he went to a place where Andy Reid was the head coach and play caller, and that's an ideal system and fit. And also you had, Travis Kelce, one of the greatest tight ends of all time, that helped. But you have all those three things. With the Bears, Caleb will go to a place that now has some pretty good talent around, two really good receivers and a promising tight end. But the play caller is a very large unknown, and there's no Alex Smith-like presence in that QB room with him.
I think people would be surprised that the wide receivers in this draft, it's almost like a buffet. Not everyone is in love with Marvin Harrison, I read in your story.
Yeah, I was surprised. To me, Marvin Harrison is the closest thing to a sure thing in this draft. And it's not to say he's not really well regarded. The guy, when I started out asking, I talked to a bunch of people in the NFL world, receivers, coaches, scouts, was, okay, is Marvin your clear number one? And one of the first guys was like, no, Harrison's not number one to me. Neighbors is my number one on my list. I think he's number one on a lot of people's list. Just because Malik Neighbors' explosiveness, his ability with the ball in his hands, his demeanor, his competitiveness, they thought he was just rare. And nobody likes to throw out like Tyreek Hill speed comparisons with almost anybody. They think he's in that ballpark there. And he's bigger and more physical. He's not as big and strong as Jamar Chase, but there's some kind of a blend between the two. And he was the guy that I think people really, really are intrigued by and want to work with. Now, Harrison, is taller and is really polished. I think he and we'll see. It's not like, whether he falls from out of the top five to, be the second or third receiver taken. I mean, who knows? It could be a better fit for him anyway down the road. But like, he didn't test, and the people I talked to did not think, they thought he was closer to a 4-5 guy than a 4-3-5 guy. And again, he can still be an elite NFL receiver and be a great player. I just think there was a little bit of like, okay, we don't think he's quite as dynamic as Neighbors is. He's not in that category, and I think that's what they were going with right now.
Bruce Feldman is with us at Bruce Feldman CFB on Twitter. You can read what we're discussing here at The Athletic. It's his Draft Confidential, where he's talked to behind-the-scenes people in the NFL and finding out what they feel about some of the guys that are going in this draft. Do you feel confident from the people you've talked to that the number one defensive player that will go off the board? Well, let me change my question here. I don't want to ask it that way. Who do you think is the number one defensive player that will go off the board? I was pinning Bruce in a corner by asking him the question that way. Who do you think is?
I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna say I feel confident that Dallas Turner probably will be the first defensive player off the board. It's not. It comes down to kind of what people need. You have. I don't want to call him another SEC player because he didn't play in the SEC at Texas, but you have a really, really explosive, undersized defensive tackle who honestly doesn't fit in every system because, as great as, and I don't want to call him Aaron Donald, but as great as Aaron Donald was, and you have certain systems where, they want an undersized, smaller defensive tackle who's blowing it upfield, whereas opposed to other ones want a bigger guy anchor inside. So it's an interesting thing. Byron Murphy is, he's a 300-pounder who's short and can be unblockable, but is a guy that I think a lot of people like. But then the other one, is Dallas Turner. And Dallas tested great at the combine. I think you'd like to see him probably 10 or 15 pounds bigger if you're going to say he's the first defensive player going off the board. But the stuff people really liked about him, in addition to his burst, in addition to his physicality, was how smart he was and how smart he is and the things that they feel like, okay, this guy is going to be a really, really good NFL player and a really disruptive force, and he will continue to develop. He was one of a handful of guys who were in that first-round defensive side that the coaches and scouts I talked to were really sold on the character and who he is. And I think that's why, Ryan, you said confident. I think he will be the first defensive player off the board.
So, Bruce, 4 locks at quarterback to go in the first round, probably 5 with Penix, maybe 6 with Bo Nix. What are coaches saying right now about Bo Nix?
Yeah, I got one who really liked Bo Nix. Like, it was interesting. One NFL quarterback coach I talked to was very impressed with Bo and would have been in his top 3 of the quarterbacks, which surprised me. But, all it takes is one. Now, I will say this particular coach, his team does not need a quarterback in this draft. But the stuff that sold him on Bo, he just felt like he was a guy who had played at Auburn and had to run around and make plays and do a lot of stuff, and then switched to a completely different system, had been through a lot of stuff and came through it on the other side, knows how to manage games, can make throws against certain coverages, can read coverages, coach's kid. This particular NFL coach really liked him and thought he was a guy that can be a legit starting NFL quarterback. Now, somebody else I talked to who's another, who had been an offensive coordinator in the NFL and is an offensive assistant in the league, said he worried a little bit about his accuracy and thought he looked nervous and fidgety whenever the rush he thought was coming on him. He wants to turn everything into a runaround. So it was kind of different opinions on him, but I wouldn't at all be surprised if he goes in the first round based on some of the things people like about him. And also, there's a pretty big drop-off. It feels like between this cluster of quarterbacks that we're kind of talking about, there's some people who are intrigued by Spencer Rattler and his arm, and then there's almost nothing after that. Like, there's a huge gap between, okay, the next wave of guys are guys who might be your third quarterback, and they're not sure if they can ever be starters in the NFL.
Am I wrong that this receiving class really outclasses the defensive back class? Like, it seems like there's a lot of good receivers and not a lot of great DBs in this draft class. And all due respect to our buddy Terrion Arnold, what are you hearing about Terrion and these DBs in this class?
It's actually a pretty good class. It's not a great class at safety, but it's a pretty good class at corner. It's just the receivers class is so much better than it's been in a while. I I mean, last year the first receiver off the board went 20th. It was Jackson Smith and Jigba. There are 3 receivers in this draft, maybe 4 if you want to put Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU in there, but definitely 3 who are much more well-regarded at the top of the draft. You know, people like both Alabama DBs, and I want to call them DBs because in Terrion Arnold's case, there's a lot of love for him because people think of the versatility. He can pretty much do anything in the secondary, could slide inside. I think he is one people feel really good about. You know, it's a great Alabama secondary. You obviously take out a freshman superstar who's now at Ohio State. It was a big time secondary, and you have 2 of the best DBs were the Alabama corners in this draft. Then you have a really super athletic kid in Quinion Mitchell from Toledo, who I think people feel like is really talented, just a little raw. And then Nate Wiggins is a really fast, tall, skinny corner from Clemson. And then there's the wild card guy in Cooper DeJean, who people really like him and think he might be the best overall DB in the draft. They just don't know exactly what is he. Is he a corner? Is he a nickel? Is he a safety? I mean, he could probably do all 3, but what is he best at? It's a good DB draft. I mean, like Andrew Phillips from Kentucky is a guy that I talked to a couple of DB coaches who really like him and think he can be an NFL starter. There's a bunch of guys from Georgia in this draft. There's 3 DBs who, Kamari Lassiter did not run well at the combine. He ran 4.64 in the 40. At Georgia's Pro Day. And people think they're going to get him at a value discount because the 40 time's not great, but they think he can really play. And the Georgia coaches have been telling NFL DB coaches this is a guy they are really high on. So you're going to see especially a bunch of SEC DBs that I think will end up as starters. It's starting DBs in the NFL. It's just the receiver class is so good this year that it's probably overshadowing the guys on the opposite them.
All right, so The Athletic is where this article is. It is Draft Confidential, where Bruce talks to NFL coaches and insiders about a ton of players, and you can read that at The Athletic. Always
I'm
good work.
halfway through it. It's so good.
Always good work. If Dunaway can make it halfway, I think anybody can finish it.
Yeah.
Thank you. At Bruce Feldman CFB on Twitter. If you just want to find a link to it in there, sign up for The Athletic and read it. Bruce, always great work. We appreciate the time, as always.
My pleasure, guys. Hopefully I'll see you down the road this summer.
Yep, absolutely. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bruce,
we'll be in Dallas.
Yeah, we'll see you in Dallas.
Listen to this phrase. We'll be in Dallas for SEC Media Days, Bruce. We'll see you there. It should be a lot of fun.
Bruce on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Yeah, all right. Trash coming up in a second. Pro Football Focus has their, they've got all 7 rounds mocked out. But Forrester has, I think, just their first round. This little mock out there, and you can see on your screen there all 32 picks there.
Terrion Arnold, the highest off the board on defense on that one.
Exactly. So Terrion Arnold, our buddy at number 11.
Our second highest, I'm sorry.
To the Vikings there. J.C. Latham is expected to be a first rounder. We were discussing what Alabama may be perceived as under Nick Saban. I think it's still DBs. Some would say quarterbacks. Some would say wide receivers. They've had 8. If Latham gets taken in the first round, 8 offensive linemen taken in the first round since 2008. The next closest school has 5.
Wow.
That's just the offensive lineman in the first round from Alabama since 2008.
So 8?
Yeah. But some of those haven't really panned out.
Oh, they haven't. No, Leatherwood is that's one of the most prominent ones, and he's been, he has not panned out.
I would say
based on where they drafted him.
The most drafted in the first round under Saban. I'm going to go defensive back.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but to me, DBs have panned out more than
Surtain
any
is,
other position.
Yeah. I mean,
still there with the Broncos.
Surtain is terrific.
Yeah. Receiver's been good.
Yeah, receiver's hard to beat with those guys. Henry Ruggs is the unfortunate situation, but
he was working. He was working.
I mean, but those receivers. I mean, Devontae Smith has been fantastic. Yeah. Jalen Waddle has been really good.
That's a small group that happened right there at that one moment in time.
You mentioned quarterbacks. Quarterback's a big question mark.
Yeah, Julio early on, but then that really core.
Calvin Ridley, even though he missed time, he's been really good.
Amari Cooper's
been good. I mean, those receivers have by and large panned out.
But now those DBs. I mean, like Levi Wallace.
He's still playing.
Yeah, got picked up yesterday by Denver.
Jackson's still playing.
Yeah.
That guy was on Saban's first team.
Those guys are all over the league. Diggs in Dallas and Surtain up in Denver. And There was a guy who just left the other corner from Denver, right? And he went some. No, it was Judy that left. They're all over the place. It's crazy. Marquell, are media days coming back to Birmingham anytime soon?
I would say right now, never in the location where it was. I don't think it'll ever be in that location again, personally. If there is another location in Birmingham that could host it, I don't think the conference is adverse to having it in Birmingham. I just don't. I think it has outgrown the Winfrey Hotel.
In the lobby.
In the lobby of the Winfrey. It's just not big enough anymore.
It is almost too... I always wonder when we would get to the college football championship. There was a moment in time we did media day for the team in the hockey arenas, just putting it out on the floor at the BJCC and almost making it a fan event. But you could do that in Nashville. You could do it in Atlanta. You could do it in a lot of places. So we don't know the answer to that. We know it's Dallas next year. For some reason, I think, did they commit to Birmingham the next year, or was it?
Don't think so. I
thought it was Nashville.
I think it's back to Nashville. I think it was.
I think it's open-ended beyond that in Nashville, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Mika and Marlon, Daniel, you can go on all day with the DBs in the league. Some
Yeah.
of them are the best.
Fantastic.
The best there is.
And those are all first-round guys.
Yeah.
Forster says they have not announced anything past 2024.
Yeah, I didn't think – when y'all said Nashville, I went with you, but I don't remember them. They normally do it year to year.
Maybe there was just a hint when we were in Nashville that it was coming back after it goes
I
to
think
Dallas.
they liked it there, and they liked the ability to do some fan stuff. They had a bad weather day and construction right there, which kind of made it difficult. So I think they'd maybe like to give that another crack.
I would be cool with Nashville here on out.
Yeah, it was fine there.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, when we come back, we'll do Trash. The show today being brought to you by our friends at Odie's. There's an opportunity for you to get by there and have lunch today. The Diablo sandwich, we don't talk about much anymore. It's still good.
So fantastic. All their food, from a corn dog to award-winning wings, delicious burgers, chili. They've got it all right there at Odie's Tavern. The original in Crestline, the newest location in Edgewood, the corner of Broadway and Oxmoor. Get in and see Will Haver and that great staff. Ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Rodney Davis cooking up incredible food for 33 years. Trivia tomorrow night. Stop in. It's Odie's Tavern.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst coming up May 12th through the 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free public admission. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. How about this? Free Velcro Pygmies concert coming up on Saturday. Mother's Day is Sunday. They're going to take care of mom with free mimosas all day on Sunday. For more information for this incredible event, go online, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
The road to the Indy 500 runs through Birmingham, April 26th through 28th. The fastest IndyCar drivers in the world, Castroneves, Dixon, and Newgarden, will put their skills to the test with one goal in mind: victory. Witness country music superstar Riley Green as Grand Marshal give the most iconic command in racing. Start your engine! Medical Properties Trust presents the Children's of Alabama Indy Grand Prix powered by AmFirst at the Barber Motorsports Park. Tickets are selling fast. Get yours now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelSonLaserVision.com.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
We got to Dunaway so bad he took his shirt off. He didn't take his shirt off for everybody to see, but you removed your collared shirt underneath your sweatshirt.
I did.
Only because people were talking about it.
I did. I mean,
sorry.
From the way the
phone too.
Yeah, how's your phone do it?
Phone is
Did
silent.
Lunsford fix that?
Phone is silenced. If I just miss work one day because the alarm doesn't work, but Little T fixed the case, the brand new case on the brand new phone yesterday. The buttons were not working on this side since I took it to L.A. I bought it to take to L.A. for video, and none of these buttons worked, and it was because of the case. So I was going to take it back to get the case, and she says, "Hold on, let me check something." She rips it off with her very Vestavia soccer strength. And I couldn't even get the case off. And she's just like, wow.
But she's a kid.
And she found it.
Yeah.
She found what was wrong with it and fixed it. So now it's working fine. I just got to figure out the alarm system on the new phone here. Got it paired to the car now.
Yeah.
Everything's good now. It's kicking along.
Good, man. Glad to hear that.
It's a different cord now, so I had to buy all new cords. Spent $58 yesterday on cords for my car. It's insanity when you change
First
those
world
things.
problems, man.
Our friends at Hemp Hill will fix any problems you got at the house.
Yeah, as you said, I mean, people are running the heat, they're running the air conditioning. You got to make sure that your unit is ready to keep up with this changing weather. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Contact them today, 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. They are going to take care of you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
That's a good one, Lunsford. It should be in the store already. Vestavia Soccer Strength.
That's still big in one community.
Vestavia.
You probably sell maybe 2 of them.
No, I think
the
if we
whole
throw it down
team.
with our friends at Bandwagon, they'd sell a bunch of them.
The whole team.
Vestavia Soccer Strength. Brownie, you had something you wanted to mention before we got the trash.
Give me the Colorado portal story again.
Oh, that was Ohio State running back Dallin Hayden, who got a lot of carries, was like the second leading rusher at Ohio State
I think
last
he had
year.
around 700 yards, didn't he?
Yeah, he's on his way to Colorado, Brownie.
Matt Zenitz and Chris Hummer report Colorado running back Savion Wilkerson has entered the transfer portal.
So they bring one in, they lose 2?
Colorado running back Dylan Edwards is in the transfer portal.
Is that 3 or 2?
That's 2
Okay.
today. That's 2 today.
Yeah.
So they're net -1.
But you wonder why they're waiting.
I don't know, but here's another one that waited, Lance. When was LSU's spring game?
A couple weeks
ago. John Emery has entered the transfer portal from LSU. according to Chris
never
Zimmerman.
going to live up to that potential.
Yeah, we've been waiting on him to be good.
16 career touchdowns. He's been in the end zone some. But to Lance, I mean, you and Lance both said potential. I mean, he was thought to be
He was going to be
the next Kevin Falk.
Kevin Falk. Yeah, he was going to be all of those.
So there you go. That's the running back portion of the transfer portal today. Colorado's net -1 in running backs, and LSU's lost John Emery.
All right. Trash Time brought to you by Mortgage Right Rockstar. Hit the more than average size button there.
Congratulations, the Cure Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees 2019. Are you as excited as I am?
By the sounds of it, no.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Just a dick answer, right? She's trying to do her job.
No.
It's spring buying season, and our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. They were veteran-founded here in Birmingham and offer loans throughout the country. And while the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans hasn't changed. Before you take next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. There is no cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information. Go to their website, mortgageright.com/TNR. If you're in Birmingham, call their Highway 280 office, 205-900-7200 to talk to someone right now. NMLS 2239. Equal housing lender. So O.J. Simpson passed last week, right?
Was it just last week?
2 weeks ago?
Whenever it was. We were at Slice.
O.J. Simpson's Bank of America credit card has hit the auction block. And let's just say the seller is looking to rake in some serious cash.
It's a business account, it should be noted.
Jonathan Lepore is selling the business account card over at Golden Auctions, telling TMZ he snagged a piece of plastic, which expired in 2023 on eBay last summer for just $70. Later, Jonathan planned to give gift the card to his pal's dad, who apparently used to hang out with O.J. and Nicole Brown Simpson in the Hamptons during the 80s and 90s. Don't know if he'd really want that if he was a Nicole Simpson fan. But he tells TMZ he hadn't bumped into him since and kind of sort of forgot he even had it until, that is, the news of O.J.'s passing over a week ago. Jonathan says he's not just cashing in on a piece of O.J. memorabilia.
No, God, no. Come on.
He said he's turning this into a force of good. He plans on donating a whole 10% of the final sale to the National Network to End Domestic Violence. The auction ends Thursday.
10%. Yes. Oh, wow.
Why would you just not do 50%? You're going to get more than you ever got for the $70, and this is going to sound really good.
Yeah, well, you shouldn't buy this. Why
would you want it?
When you get rid of your cards, do you shred them?
No, I auction them like he does.
I usually cut them in half. Scissors, cut them in like 3/4, and then
I try. I either shred them, or I cut it down the part that people read. I cut it down the middle of that.
The problem is when I run it through the shredder, it doesn't shred right.
The shredder I have has a special place for the plastic.
Oh, does it
Yeah.
for cards? Yeah. I have not used a check card in forever though, so
I haven't either.
I'm strictly credit cards now.
I've never used a debit card.
Ever.
I've
never been in Buc-ee's.
Really?
I've never parachuted out of an airplane.
You're the second person. On the way out to Talladega Saturday, we had a friend. She was like, "We've never been to Buc-ee's."
Yeah, I actually sat in the parking lot, picked up Rockstar, Taylor, Kelsey, and EG, and they went in to grab a snack or go to the bathroom, and I refused to go. I didn't want that to be my first experience.
Man, you're a man of principle.
I sat there.
It's got to be special.
I didn't want that to be my first experience.
You don't know my
Weirdo.
life. My life is a Hallmark card. My life has to be a Hallmark card.
So walking in with Rockstar, Kelsey, EG, and Taylor, was it Hallmark enough for you? Who's going to be?
We were going different. He had to go to the bathroom. Somebody wanted
Rockstar.
chicken biscuits.
Loser.
Somebody wanted buck nuts.
Now, that would be a good bracket challenge. You can only shop at Buc-ee's for a month. You can't buy anything anywhere else.
I would trade that for mine right now.
What is yours? The 5 shots?
I got to hit 5 shots around the country. I would eat only from Buc-ee's for a month.
No, but I'm talking about everything. Like, you got to buy detergent. You got to buy...
Well, I mean, that's impacting my house at that point.
You can get anything you want at Buc-ee's. You do your own laundry. What's that?
Yeah,
impact?
what is it? You have got divided house. You've got pastor. You've got Dunaway. You do all your stuff on your own.
Let me tell you, this is funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. It's really bad that my vocabulary is this bad.
Okay.
But I've even caught myself occasionally when I was taking EG to Talladega when Brown was in the car. I cuss a lot. I drop the F-bomb a lot, just in general conversation.
Am I to blame for that too?
Maybe.
Too.
In my house, I usually default to you.
Yeah.
But Maggie had a couple of pastor friends over. So we had at least 2 pastors in the house last night.
County Maggie?
It was Maggie and another one. So 2 pastors.
At least 2. Okay.
2 pastors.
I've done it Dunaway. I did it at lunch with our boy George Wright.
Yeah,
I dropped
he did better than I did.
No, I didn't.
And we have a gate keeping the little dogs from going upstairs. It's basically a baby gate.
Yeah.
And it's not even as tall as a junior high hurdle at 8th grade track and field. But I was walking up the stairs with a salad and a Diet Coke, and I go to step over it. I didn't want to open it up, so I go to step over it. Left leg, no problem. Right leg, I catch that big toe, and I go, "Mother!" And Maggie's like, "Jim,
there's a pastor here, and you're not even married to him."
I was like, "Oh, sorry, pastors."
You know, it's interesting that the Bible doesn't directly address any of those words.
No, I know.
We've just made it
That's
taboo.
right. The Lord's name in vain is the only one that you're not supposed to do, right?
Well, I mean, there's talk about taming. There's talk about things, but it doesn't directly address those specific words. It doesn't say, "Do not say these words."
Yeah, it's a word we created.
Yeah, but I don't
it's a
think,
place we've chosen to draw the line.
Yeah, sea sucker was not a word back then, was it?
It was not.
I don't believe it was. No.
Anyway, we'll see what he's able to get for. I'm sure we'll have an update on the O.J. Simpson bank card.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet somebody tries to use it.
So a man was arrested in Santa Monica over the weekend after he was seen using a shopping cart and a sword to grill barbecue in the middle of the street.
You say, I like it, man. This guy, he just figures it out in life.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Where is it?
Innovative. Santa Monica.
Santa Monica.
Yeah, where else?
That's in California. Do you know there's 600? This is a stat I saw yesterday. 655,000 homeless people in the United States last checked.
Okay.
1/3 of them in California.
Oh, I believe that. It happened before 3 p.m. on Sunday along Ocean Avenue. In the video, the man is seen dragging a shopping cart through a bike lane. The main compartment of the cart is filled with a flaming wood, while the man uses a sword as a skewer to hold meat over the flames. Man continues down the road, pushing the cart with him, eventually stopping, apparently trying to fuel the flames with some Bud Light.
Yeah,
you see he's got a 12-pack up there.
Supporting the sponsor, thank you.
He's got Bud Light. Is that a pineapple or a palm tree?
Oh, he's a swinger. It's pineapple.
Yeah.
Upside down.
I mean, he's got a pretty good setup.
He's got a lot of stuff going on. He needs to. Backpack makes me nervous about to bust open.
Yeah.
I mean, I will give him credit for being innovative and finding a way to grill on the road.
He's got some wet wipes in the top part.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as
bottle of wine, and I'm going to assume there's ice in there, right?
As far as people living on the streets, he's very neat.
He is.
Well
I mean,
organized.
I give him credit for not saying I'm homeless. It's all over with for me. He's trying to make it by.
Now,
He's not cluttered.
As the man walks down the road, eventually a Santa Monica police cruiser pulls over and the officer gets out. The grill master then takes off. Another video showed the officer putting the man in handcuffs down by the beach. Why would you arrest this guy?
What was he violating?
Why
Do we
take
know?
off? He should have just sat there and wrote it out.
Officer, would you like a hamburger?
Yeah. Would you like a skewer?
Yeah.
Now, would y'all eat out of that cart?
You know, I'm not going to, but I'm also not homeless. I mean, if I were homeless, I would, Lance. But
Did y'all notice out at the Rose Bowl they had the outside grills? You know, they do it outside of Dodger games. It's a big thing out in L.A. And
What do you mean outside grills?
no, like it's people. Like I went to the food truck up here at the Shell station yesterday.
Is that thing good? I've always wanted to go.
EG wears it out.
Yeah, EG says it's
incredible.
fantastic. Yeah.
But anyway, it's like individual businesses where they've got their own little grill that they're cooking for. And they've got a bunch of different stuff they do on it. Anyway, they were doing the exact same thing this guy was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know if they had a license or not. Danny, the founder of Lost Cause Explorer, told the Daily Star that the items from the home had an off-kilter feel to them, and he said his anxiety about the find was heightened because he and his group entered the bungalow at 4:30 a.m. 31-year-old is a carer by day, but he and two of his best friends have been exploring abandoned buildings and sites for the last 3 years. Danny said, quote, "This one was a very creepy one as well. As we go in at 4:30 a.m., he added that the place felt like if time stood still." He added on Facebook,
Oh, yeah.
"I don't have any history on this one, unfortunately, but due to the amount of mold, natural decay, I would say it's been uninhabited for a few years. Lots of items left behind, retro games, and a full-size pool table. In the home were dozens, perhaps hundreds of strange ornaments. One shelf, there was several alien statues, including one with the E.T. playing the saxophone. There was also a Jerry Halliwell bobble doll from her time, the Spice Girls.
Look at that pool
I think
table.
she was Ginger Spice.
You can tell EG played there. Something spilled in the middle.
Spilled coffee in the middle.
It looks like Old Faithful at Yellowstone.
It really does. That is.
But with the cue sticks like that, it looked like it was just recently played. Like this person died and just didn't come back home.
Hey, where's your microwave? Look on the right side on the floor by the pool table.
Yeah.
I got it.
Yep.
Yeah, just go ahead and hot pocket those right down there.
How bad though do you feel if you're the person that's in here taking these pictures? Somebody else goes, "Honey, I'm home."
What do you think the smell is like?
Oh, it's awful.
Life preserver back there on the wall. There were also football bobbleheads, even Powerpuff Girl toys, old mobile phones, photographs, books, an Elvis toy guitar, lots of brass, plastic, porcelain, and wooden horse and
truthfully,
dog ornaments.
Some of that stuff would sell better than OJ's card. He should be taking those bobblehead dolls and some of that stuff out of there.
Controversial debate of reclining your seat on a plane. Do you guys ever do it? I never do it.
I've said on this show before, the juice is not worth the squeeze. I get like 2 inches of recline. It just doesn't really change my life.
Well, it may come to an end soon thanks to airline companies wanting to cut back on cost. With airlines like Southwest debuting a more streamlined seat design for 2025, it's only a matter of time before reclining seats disappear completely.
I mean, truthfully, if you look how thick that seat is, take out the reclining, and I think you can come up with a better form-fitting seat. Not form-fitting because people vary in sizes, but a different, more ergonomically better seat, as I try to use the word too big for my vocabulary.
They're not going to spend money for that. Sorry.
No, but make it thinner. I think you save space by making it thinner, Rockstar. I don't think it has to be that thick.
It's going to cost money.
Yeah, that's true. Anything they're cutting money, but I'm with you, Dunaway.
Yeah, that's their most cost-effective cushion. I see what you're saying. Like you can make it more comfortable and that's thinner, and therefore give everybody more space. But obviously, those materials would be more money.
Truthfully, I think I'm a horrible business person. I'll say that up
I haven't
front.
noticed.
I would take out some rows and space people out a little bit.
But you know they
Put a Peloton. Did you know that a lot of people don't know this, that those seats are used as a flotation device? A lot of people don't know that.
It's probably important to have those then, right?
Almost every flight is sold out now. Why would you take seats
Now, I
out?
would say this: if there's not a sold-out flight, maybe if the seats were removable.
Yeah, you just throw them out on the runway.
Now, pre-reclined seats are also becoming a trend in 2019. Spirit Airlines introduced its new cabin interior that featured seats that pre-recline on every row. The company said in a press release.
I don't like to recline.
I like to recline at home.
What's great is this whole thing is this is going to save you. They're turning it into a positive. This is going to save you 2 inches of leg room.
That's right. Thank you. I need that.
Finally,
do you never recline in a recliner? Sorry, Lance.
I used to have a recliner and spend a lot of time reclined in the recliner, but now I don't have one and don't miss it.
I would, yeah.
Interesting.
I've never had a recliner.
You've never had a recliner?
No.
I have not.
I like to either sit or lay.
So you're nothing in between.
You don't like reclining?
I am an extremist.
You really are.
The incoming 2024 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame class includes superstar acts such as Cher.
Are you excited?
Ozzy Osbourne, Mary J. Blige, Tribe Called Quest, Dave Matthews Band, Foreigner, Peter Frampton, and Kool in the Gang.
All of that in this class, Rockstar?
Big class.
That's a good class.
Run through it again. Let's see who belongs.
I can't wait till the 4-hour HBO show.
I don't have a problem with anyone really except for Peter Frampton.
Yeah,
he made his guitar talk.
No,
back
it was
in the
such
day.
a gimmick. I mean, I think a lot of
2
people.
songs too,
Yeah,
right?
a lot of people could have done that.
Show Me the Way. You got Ooh Baby I Love Your Way.
Okay, that's 2.
And you got what's it?
Walk This Way.
Yeah, no, it is.
I'll never forget how disappointed I was the first time I saw Peter Frampton doing that talking
And he made it say,
guitar thing.
Birmingham,
Yeah, he did, but I thought he was doing that just like with the guitar.
Yeah,
I didn't know he had that
Jesus.
little
Yeah, that little straw
thing.
in his mouth.
Yeah, I mean that's
Do you
such
feel
a
like
gimmick.
we do the biggest song? Do you
Such
feel
a
like we
gimmick.
do?
Yeah, Peter
Yeah,
Frampton, complete gimmick.
It's like if Houdini had a key to the cuffs.
Well, it's like saying like that John Popper guy. All he does is blow a damn harmonica. Anybody could do that.
Well, that's at least he's playing the instrument the way it's intended to be played, right? So he's just good
Say
at
what
it.
you want, Rocky.
Yeah.
Peter Frampton Hall of Fame, though?
Nope. Not in my Hall of Fame. Complete sideshow.
Blues Traveler is in this
Yeah.
thing? No, okay.
We talked about this on the meltdown yesterday about how I don't care about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna push that my favorite band like Foreigner finally got in after all these years. Like it's been so many. Now they finally in. It's like, does that really make them? Are they finally we're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
I mean, for
They
some
say that
probably.
when they say that. in the
Let me
speech,
ask you this:
finally.
so is Lou Graham? Is he coming back with them? And,
I don't think
and,
he can sing anymore.
And do you push the other guy out? I mean, how does that work?
Well, I mean, they're in because of Lou Graham's work. So
And
yeah.
another thing is Ozzy can barely walk now, and I don't know how.
Now-
I don't know how he's going to do this.
Was he in with Black Sabbath already?
Yes, this is his as a solo artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Well
and
deserved.
people are getting on to me in the chat room.
On who?
On Peter Frampton. I mean, without that gimmick, he would be playing the sports nut in Jacksonville. I mean, the guy,
I don't
it's just a
understand.
complete gimmick.
It's but it sells out shows like Jimmy Page. All he does is do guitar solos. It's a gimmick.
No,
But I never
But
went to
that's-
see. I would have never gone to see Peter Frampton because he made the guitar talk. I would just go see him play the guitar. But I was never a huge Frampton fan.
I was going to go see Nate Bargatze, but all he does is tell jokes.
Rockstar, that is not at all like what I'm saying. He is a comedian. That's what you do, tell jokes. This guy
He's a
hooked.
musician.
This guy hooked a straw up and made his guitar
Yeah, but
talk.
why is he in the Hall of
That's
Fame?
a complete gimmick.
Oh, I don't care why he's in the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
I'm just wondering.
Oh, I mean,
Jimi
could
Hendrix
not-
plays the guitar. That's not a gimmick.
I
He's
could
playing
not
the
name
guitar.
one Mary J. Blige or a Tribe Called Quest song. So I'm not fighting for he should be in the. I'm justifying
Family
him as an
Affair is a
artist.
classic.
Brandon says Frampton had one album. Does he mean one good album, or he
Frampton
literally?
Comes Alive is like one of the best-selling live albums of all time. Again, I'm not like a Peter Frampton
Well,
fan.
you sound like it. You sound like a Peter Frampton truther.
I am. Well, all he does is play guitar and makes it do this stupid
No,
thing.
he plays a gimmick.
What's that country song
With
that
his
sings
guitar,
about whiskey?
You should know at this point when you're this deep in, either he's going to change or he's not. And he's not changing.
He's not changing.
No,
So
but
it's-
I just don't understand why Rockstar makes the argument he's making. That's not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying people who play the guitar the way God intended it when he invented the guitar, that's good. Like Jimi Hendrix, really good guitarist, right? But because Peter Frampton came up with a stupid gimmick.
So did Larry the Cable Guy come up with a gimmick?
Huh?
He was
he dresses like an idiot
But
outside.
Larry the Cable Guy is never going to be in the Comedy Hall of
you would
Fame.
not
You
play
don't
him in the
think
Comedy
he's
Hall
one
of
of the
Fame.
top 100 comedians of all time?
I've never found him funny.
I don't think it was either, but I'm saying in general.
I don't think so.
But 100% he came up with a gimmick. I mentioned
Yeah.
Bill Burr earlier.
Did you think Gallagher was funny?
I did when I was a little kid, but I mean, the guy was
Sledge-O-Matic
just,
was a total gimmick.
well, of course it was.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't think Gallagher would ever be in the.
He wouldn't be in the Comedy Hall of Fame.
Kiss's makeup, was that a gimmick?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
I was never a big Kiss fan.
Historic.
Again, it's not about being a fan. I'm not a Kiss fan, nor am I a Peter Frampton fan. I'm just saying, like, he deserves more than he just came up with a little gimmick.
Well, he did. What else did he do? All right, if you take the straw away, what is Peter Frampton? I told you he's playing in the Sports Nut at Jacksonville. That's what he's doing.
I would say question asked, question answered.
Baby, I Love Your Way is one of his most popular songs that does not include the gimmick.
Anybody could have done it.
If you are looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. And speaking of veterans, they are veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right is your one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com/TNR. Call Birmingham office 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, so Champy's Chicken, a great place for lunch today as well. Boy, Sterling and the crew. Let me just tell you, you're driving, this is that time of year, you're driving to the lake or beach and you're passing at the Alabaster exit on I-65 and you say, man, I hear them talk about Champy's all the time. It's lunchtime or it's on our way back, it's dinner time, whatever. It's right off the exit there. Just throw it into the old Waze there. Just jump off the exit. I think it's less than a mile. I think I could run it off the exit there. And go see Sterling on the way or back from the beach all summer long. Champy'sChicken.com. Don't forget to get the Mississippi Delta tamales and so much more. One more segment to go when we come back on TNR.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mom on Mother's Day Sunday, LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Region's Tradition May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kaylin DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Region's Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Hey, you. Days warming up. Looking like spring. And at New Balance Birmingham, we've got the thing. What pops and what's fresh? Check the selects. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call GutterCapBirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Hang out with the next round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the next round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Tribe Called Quest, can you name a song, says Brandon.
I was not a big Tribe Called Quest fan, got to tell you. Now, Tyler, I remember Tyler battling for them when this first came out.
Can I Kick It is about the only one I know. And that may not be right. Can I Kick It? I think it's the only one I know.
Rockstar? Is Jim right?
While you look that up, Precision Sports will get you back in the game. Tell you what, they took care of my leg problem back during football season. Told me to start moving around a little bit more. Great diagnosis by them, too. They took care of it and then said, to keep this from happening again, probably need to exercise a little bit. Great insight from our friends at Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. If you tweak something, pull something, rip something, they get you back to work. They get you back in the game, playing with the kids in the yard, doing the yard work or whatever you got to do. 205-512-3885. 512-3885. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024.
Can I Kick It is their number one song there, Dunaway. You got Electric Relaxation. Come on. Check the Rhyme. Award Tour. Find a Way. And The Hop.
The Hop?
Nope. No idea. Scenario featuring Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I loved
Richard Sherman.
I used to love you guys.
Fat Richard Sherman.
You guys will laugh at me, but MTV, when it was early on, they would do spring break and they would get a beach house and they would have artists that come by and they would be partying Panama City sometimes.
Why are we laughing at you?
That I just loved that week when it was MTV at the beach. I think it was called Beach House or something. And Busta Rhymes always makes me think of that because he was always there.
I mean, Wycliffe Jean was there one time, and they said that they could not get him to sleep. Like, he would just stay up and party for 24/7.
MTV was trying to get him to sleep.
Well, I mean, like some of the person, like the Carson Dailies were like, we saw him at 3 a.m. and then somebody saw him on the beach at 6. And
Carson Daly, underrated talent. So too is Craig Kimbrell, Alabama native, got his 423rd save last night, 7th all-time, passing Billy Wagner. Mariano Rivera's out there. So is Trevor Hoffman. There's a big gap before you get to Lee Smith, number 3. But Francisco Rodriguez at number 4 is within reach. He's at 437. So Kimbrell's only 14 behind him. 5th is Kenley Jackson. Kenzie Jackson,
Kenley Jansen.
Kenley Jansen with
is
the
still
Dodgers.
pitching. And so too is John Fernandez, who's only got 424. So Kimbrell's about to work his way up to at least 6th, maybe 5th all time in career saves. Craig Kimbrell, Alabama native.
How many of those are in the Hall of Fame? Give me that top 4 again.
Mariano Rivera.
Definitely.
Trevor Hoffman, I think.
Definitely. I think he is.
Eckersley.
Yep, he is.
Eckersley not on this list.
Yeah, I was just I was going closers in the Hall of Fame.
I don't know if Eckersley is or not.
He is, but there's not a ton of closers in the Hall of Fame.
He's not top 7 in saves.
Yeah.
Lee Smith, I don't know if he is or not.
Eckersley used to be a starting pitcher.
Yeah, that's a big difference there. All right. Congratulations, Craig Kimbrell, and all the Kimbrell family and associates who are watching us right now. We appreciate you. We're back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time. Until
it's like
next time. Well, he had a gimmick, Brown. He had a cutter.
No, his gimmick was this thing right here. Remember that?
Until next time, we'll discuss that for 50 or so minutes on the other side. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.